What is going on, brothers? What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Passport Bro Show. And before I go any further, of course, it is now tradition for me to sing the Passport Bro Show anthem. We'd like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros. We like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros. We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros show. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking, man. Mr. Theo WAF in the building. IP International Passport. Let's go. So, welcome, brothers, to yet another classic, future classic live stream. First and foremost, brothers, please press a one in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Do you hear me loud and clear? How's my audio, Theo?
Good. I can hear you. No problem.
Fantastic. So the host himself can hear me.
I'm getting used to your singing. So it's taking a while, but I'm getting used to it. You know,
it ain't that bad, right?
Well, comparatively speaking, you're improving. You're improving. Let's say that.
Let's go, man. So we got a couple ones here. So it's going to be a packed house tonight. Awesome, brothers. So welcome, brothers. So when you're in, I want to say a huge thank you to all those that have supported the channel over the past couple of years, including Theo WAF himself. A big thanks to Theo for what he's doing for the Passport Bros movement, for brothers. He's the Manosphere Conference, etc., etc. From me to you, thank you, Theo. And of course, welcome aboard the new people. I accept and I embrace you with open arms. And also, we have another host of us called Chewbacca. Hi, Chewbacca. How you doing? You okay, Chewbacca?
Here's Chewbacca. there he is. Yeah. Chewbacca's enjoying himself. So he's also a Passport Bro. He's a Passport Wookiee.
Chewbacca's too hairy, man. You need to cut it. Is it he or she?
He.
Yeah. Cut Chewbacca's hair. He's too hairy. What's going on there, Theo?
I took him to the person who does the cutting the hair. I forgot what it's called. And he bit her.
What?
So that was the last meeting. So I'm trying to do it. His cutting off from his face is actually very hard to do because he bites. For the rest of his body is just fine. I cut his hair, no problem. But it's his head. Yeah, he doesn't anything around his mouth. No, he does not like that at all. So,
Damn.
Yeah.
Naughty Chewbacca, naughty. So, brothers, when you come in, please press the like video. We've got over 40 people. I should see 40 likes. You got to support this channel and the movement. So please like the video. Make sure you definitely join the Patreon for more information regarding foreign women and how they truly get down in the bedroom, etc., etc. And of course, financial information, travel information on the Patreon. And of course, brothers, please make sure you book your IT consultations with me by the kindly link in the description box below. And of course, join the Patreon tiers, the bronze IT tier, the platinum tier, and the IP lightning tier to become a mentee to me, and I can be a mentor to you. Okay, please cop the merch too for continued support. The merch is amazing. Theo, where's your jumper, bro? You're not wearing your international passport hoodie. What's going on there, bro?
Yeah, do you want me to melt? It's Austin. It's about 90 degrees outside. My air conditioning in my house is out. I only have air conditioning in 2 rooms right now. If I wear a hoodie, that's it. I'd be a baked Theo. I mean, that's it. My internal organs would suffer. There's no way. No. Winter, here in Austin, I don't know, December, January, maybe I can do that. Until then, it's it's over 50 degrees every day, at least. Like today is in the 90s to 100. So, yeah.
Oh wow, that is hot. So we don't want Theo to go from Theo WAF to Theo baked WAF. So we're gonna keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, brothers, make sure you please support the PayPal. That's open 24/7, 365. So in this live stream, hit the super chats, hit the PayPal. That'd be greatly appreciated. let's get cracking. And of course, please follow me on TikTok and follow my new public Facebook page. I'll be posting content on there as soon as possible, as regularly as possible, and you're gonna enjoy it. Let's get cracking, Theo. So in this episode, episode 5 of the Passport Bros show, we shall be discussing how to spot red flags in foreign women before you date and you wife them up. So, as you all know, women are not perfect. Yes, modern women in the West are horrible, okay? But guess what? Not every foreign woman is some sort of perfect princess or queen, right? There are numerous red flags that you should know before you consider wifing up a foreign chick. So I'm going to hand it over to Theo to state the first red flag that is important. And I'm going to give my opinion, and it's going to come to me. Theo will give his opinion on my point, and we'll bounce off each other like Jordan and Pippen, like the Chicago Bulls in the 1990s. Okay, so Theo, over to you. So Theo, you've been with a lot of women. Theo, you're a high value man. Okay, you're a tall brother, so I'm sure women they throw themselves at you, Theo, every day. Okay, so
Mhm.
when it comes to foreign women, brother, what do you say is the first red flag? It's just not it's not by order, but spontaneously speaking, that brother should be aware of, whether she's Japanese, whether she's Brazilian, or even the case that there may be a specific red flag that only applies to one group of women, maybe Korean, etc., etc. Break it down for us.
She has dated other Western men, and in particular, she only focuses on Western men, and she does this in her country. That would be the first one. And as a subset of this, she only focuses on black men,
Ooh.
and she has a history of being with black men. Stop. You're done. Just keep on walking. You're done.
Oh.
Um, this is very different from a woman who has never dated a black man or never dated a Westerner, and she's had like a fantasy about doing it or a curiosity, but she's never done it before or she's never considered it. The reason why it tends to be a red flag is that um, it tends to be that she's dated low level guys or low level Westerners, and there's a great possibility she's been ran through by a few guys. This is particularly true if you're in major metropolitan areas. So again, Pattaya, Tokyo, Seoul, Sao Paulo, Paris, like these kind of areas. Kiev, another one would be is very very true. If you're dealing with women who are just they're like I only deal with foreigners, but she doesn't leave the country. She stays right there. She's probably been passed around. So again, when I meet these women, I always ask like what was the reason why your last relationship ended or something like that, and almost always it's some sort of wishy washy reason. I'm just like, nah, man, you were you were pumped and dumped. I know what happened. So
Mm.
my view, guys, is don't don't engage these women. Just keep on moving.
Theo, I definitely agree with that, and I want to give some personal stories there. So, I've been with foreign women before, right? And obviously, back then, I was still getting in the groove of actually getting my passport and dealing with foreign women. These foreign women, although they had red flags, were still better than modern women, but they still had red flags, right? So, let me give one example from the channel itself, right? Shout out to the brother Pooh, right? The other week, right? In the stream we did for Korea, or was it on the Patreon, right? Pooh was dealing with a Korean chick, right? And they were talking, or I think it was Ramel, I can't remember, right? And then the Korean chick replies to Ramel or Pooh, I'd bet. What? I'd bet. So you know that if she's saying that, dudes from Stockton, California, brothers from Southside Chicago, brothers from St. Louis, Missouri, brothers from South Central LA have ran through her. Bruv, I bet. So those are the kind of flags you got to see. Is she using slangs, right, that are from certain communities, right? Is she using slangs that are from Western communities? You know, is she right very, focused on a particular subset of men, like Theo said, brothers, right? One example I also give you, right? Many years ago, I met a a half Korean, um, half other chick, right? Beautiful, beautiful. But when I was speaking with her, right, I found out she came from Spain to England. She was in Spain for 1 year. I know Spain. Spain is a very SEXUAL culture, right? And she told me that she didn't do much there in Spain. She comes from a wealthy family. So the Spanish dudes have ran through her. Her body count's in the 50s. Those are the red flags you got to spot, brothers. If she's coming from highly SEXUAL cultures, Latin America, Spain, Italy, and she's been there for a couple months or a year, best believe she's been ran through. Would you agree with that, Theo? You on mute, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. And it doesn't, particularly when she's been to these areas for a while, and it's obvious that, she's obvious marriage material. Like, somebody's gonna wipe that up, and she didn't. It means she
Mm,
ran the street. I'll give you an example of this. That I had here in America with a Ukrainian matchmaker. I just laughed at her, which when this happened. So there was this Russian woman who was her customer, and she had been in America 3 years, particularly in Colorado. And I was like, "What?" Okay, so between the ages of 33 and 36, she was in America, and then she was still looking for a husband. You should have seen this woman. She was drop dead gorgeous. She had at least a D cup. She was at least 5'7". I couldn't even see, like, she was 5'8", 5'9" at least. Beautiful. She was absolutely stunningly beautiful. She was instant wife material, like the way she looked. And I just looked at her and I said, "You." She was in Colorado, which is like ultra male. There's a lot of men there, and there's a military base there. And I was like, she was there 3 years, 33 to 36, and she couldn't find a guy. Oh no, we're done. And I said, basically, not only reject her, I'm not going to work with you, matchmaker, anymore. I'm done because you're obviously lying, right? You're giving me used goods. So it's that way, like that abroad. If you get a woman, for example, again, like IP is saying, been in Spain, now in UK, or again, if I'm in Asia, she's been in Thailand for a while, and now she's uh, in like Tokyo, and she was with black guys in Thailand, and now she's with black guys. She wants a black guy in Tokyo. I just think, like, okay, you're just like international, like riding Pookie. That's all you are. Like, because there's no reason for you not to get wiped up. Like, that's it. It's all 100% on you. You're in areas where men want to marry, and so yeah, I just avoid them 100%. Just say I'm done. It's not. I know I can see women sitting there. Well, what about this and what about that? Now, see, we only look at the results. And if you're younger with more value and you couldn't achieve the marriage, obviously it's because of you.
mm.
That's it. Because there's a long line of guys who want to marry you. That's obvious. And if you can't choose, you're like Ebony Williams. You're just riding the carousel, and in the end, you're not going to get married. So us guys who want to get married should avoid you straight out. And this is what I do. These kind of women who have these kind of tendencies only want like a black guy, and it's obvious they've been with him and they're living abroad like that. And yeah, I avoid them because they're not going to give me the outcome I want.
Facts, bro. And shout out to Mr. Eric Mogadishu, our Australian brother, for the $7.99 super chat. IP, the Australian stream was 100% spot on. A great place to live and work, especially IT. But for a wife, get a passport, get your passport. Joining the Patreon tonight. Welcome to the Patreon, bro. Brothers, I'm pointing at you, brothers, have to also join the Patreon too. The Patreon is amazing. We got Theo on the Patreon too as well. Theo Shops and Classic on the Patreon. We can watch Theo's content on the Patreon too. Appreciate you, bro. So That's a very good red flag there first, right? Um,
Mhm.
so going on to the second point, right? I would
Mhm.
say the second red flag, right, is when she's reached a certain age and she ain't got a boyfriend or she ain't married. Because I've come
Mm,
across beautiful foreign women that are
mm,
25, 26. And I'm wondering, how on earth is she single? Something
mm,
isn't right there. IP, make sure your spider senses are on point, bro. Because if she is that beautiful and then she ain't married, something's wrong. So I'll give you a personal example before I hand it off to you, feel right. Around 2 years ago, um, I actually met this Vietnamese chick, beautiful chick. Cold approached her in the gym. I knew she was foreign. We started speaking, right? I was expecting her to be around 21, 22, or 20. She told me she was 26. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. Um, are you single? She's like, yeah, I'm single. I'm single. And I was thinking, how on earth is this beautiful woman single? Something ain't right. So I asked her on a date. We planned a date. She ghosts me. So basically, right, we planned a date for, let's say, uh, uh, 3 weeks later. She said she was busy for the next 2 weeks. I said, cool. So a day before I message her and I tell her, right, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And she tells me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot." But we planned it on that day, right? So if you were interested in me, right, you put in your calendar and you would actually block that day for me. So she tells me, right, IP, can we move it to um next week? We move it to sorry the day after. We move it to the day after, bro. And then I tell her the new location, and she messaged me like an hour before the date. Hey, IP, I'm in a different part of the country, but we agreed to meet up the next day. That's why your ASS is single. Red flag there, bro. It's crazy, bruv. That's exactly what a Western chick would do to me, brother. Spot the red flags. If she's 25, 26, she's foreign and she's single, she is not well mentally. She for the streets. Break it down for us, Theo.
okay, so if you're abroad and like say I'm going to use Sao Paulo, Tokyo, and Kiev as examples, and you meet a beautiful woman who's 20, 24, 25, and she's stunningly beautiful and she's single. To be honest, there is a high possibility that she is because she cannot meet a decent man. To be honest,
Hmm.
and or she's definitely dating without a doubt. So she is accepting dates, but she might have like spider senses on. She's like, oh, I'm meeting guys who want to bang me, who just want to go through me, and that's very typical. And she's waiting for somebody who's at least decent for her. And there's various reasons for this. Now, if she shows you signals and then you ask her out on a date and she shows up on the date, you can get more details on this about the exact reason why she's single. Um, it's in the Western context, they'd be thinking that is because she's smashing some guy secretly. This couldn't be further away from the truth abroad. Um, to be honest, for the most time, if she is, living with a guy or she has a boyfriend, that she's not going to talk to you straight out because she faces possible domestic violence at home if she talks to you. So she is talking to you. More likely than not, she's single. More likely than not always, but more likely. And if from there you can find out different things that's going on in her life, which might be, for example, she was dating a guy for a while, just talking to him, but he had a girlfriend, and she didn't want to be the third tier, something like the third leg. Very common. Just saying. The men she's dating are alcoholics. Very common. Or like again in Japan, she can't get a guy to take her out. Guys are either too cheap or they just don't have time for her, and so she actually really is lonely. So those possibilities are there abroad. Um, you just have to ask her and just kind of be a little bit open about it, about what the situation is going to be. I would say in this case, keep your eyes open. Ask, look for verification. You might find a gem. So I guarantee you, like, again, my wife, she was rather beautiful when I met her. And, I asked her what was her, she had been single for a while, and I asked her what her situation was. And she said basically every guy that she met didn't want to marry her, just wanted to smash her. And so she wouldn't go out with them. And one of the reasons why she went out with me is because I was talking about my goal being marriage. I was talking that from the beginning. She's like, okay, I'll go on a date with you. She went on another one, another one, right? So that's usually why I get rather a lot of success abroad.
Great point there, Theo. Shout out to Mr. Black Dragon 10K for the $5 super chat. IP, I have a problem. Which one is better, an Afro Latina or an Afro Japanese woman? I can't decide. Theo, you decide, bro.
Black Dragon, just go abroad and go date them. And this is the thing. There's a lot of Afro Latinas. There's not a lot of Afro Japanese. So you have to think about how much time and effort you're going to spend on this versus the reward. And when you start thinking about it, I hope you become practical and go for a solution where you can get your needs met without expending an entirely huge sum of energy and time and resources in order to figure that out for yourself.
Facts, absolute facts. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Andrew Ski Gordon for the $2 super chat. Red flags if she uses the word bro in my experience. What's your thoughts about that, Theo?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yeah, I'll take that one from Andrew. So if she's, again, abroad and she's saying bro, I just kind of sit back and like, okay, let's just kind of talk, right? And almost always there's been not just one guy, but there's been a few black men in her life already. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be a part of your harem.
but thing is, right, Theo, right? Yeah, being with too much brothers is a problem, but I would also argue that being with too much white men is a problem, or Indian men, or a group of men of a particular ethnicity, because we know just how these white dudes get down, right? They will smile at a chick, trying to keep it PG, right? Do all sorts of freaky stuff with her. I don't want a chick that's done that with other dudes of any race, actually. I don't want that. I want a clean, pristine chick. I'm just worried about, right? I would prefer if you're a virgin, I can let a body count of one slide, right? But preferably a virgin, right? Because the more body she has, Theo, the more her value goes down. To me, it's just filth, brother. It's filth when you allow that much money into. It's filth. There's an exchange of fluids, spiritual stuff. Just I don't want that, bro. I don't want no sloppy seconds, bruv. So when these chicks are saying words like, now I'll be real with you, Phil, right? There are some slangs that when they're learning English are okay, like awesome, nice, cool. I'm cool with that. That's the average slang that everyone knows, bro. But when it's so specific, like bro, lit, it, bet, cap, no cap, get out of here, bruv. No cap? Where'd you get that from? Nah, bruv, man. That ain't flying, bruv.
That means she's from the streets, or she's dating guys from the streets. And you just don't, you kind of listen to it. I just, again, when I'm abroad, I just kind of listen to it. I nod my head, particularly in Japan. And I'm just like, this isn't going to work out. I know, because I'm on a different level from the guys you've been dating before. So I'm not going to deal with it. What I also noted was the women who had the kind of vocabulary would also confess to doing baby deletions.
Jeez.
And I would be like, no, I'm not going to even deal with that. So this was always in reference to military guys of all flavors. It wasn't just one category. So I'd be
Wow,
like, no, I'm not going to deal with it. No.
brother. We ain't putting our Johnsons in no Casper box.
Yeah.
No, bro. In no Casper graveyard, man. We don't want no ghosts coming out the box when we're smashing, bruv.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely true. I would tell the women, I'd be like, I didn't work all these years to date a woman who essentially has a history of violating my values or going against my values. I didn't sacrifice for all these years. I didn't go these years without having any relationship in my life in order to build up my value to date somebody like you. So what I'm going to go do is go keep on building my value up even more and then get somebody else. That's like the only way of really dealing with it. But I had in Japan, I had women totally dismayed that I would not date them, and I was like, oh well, that's the way it is. Um, I remember one when I was 26. And this is one quick one. Um, this one woman really wanted to date a black guy, and I went out with her, had a great time with her, and she decided to date a military guy instead of me, a black military guy instead of me. I was like, okay, I know it's going to happen. So I just kind of sat back, and um, he cheated on her, and she had a baby deletion also. And I just said to her, I said, this is stupid because if you had been with me first, or we would have had a great relationship, we would have had a great time, and I wouldn't have been using you like a piece of meat. But that's what you were looking for. You're looking for a black man to use him as a piece of meat, and I would have been doing family building. So if you would have come home and said that you're pregnant, I would have been thinking about baby names. Instead, you said that you were pregnant and you were thinking about which clinic to go visit. Big difference between him and me. So I was like, you made your bed. Go on to the next black guy, not me.
Facts, bro. Let me read a super chat and go on to the next point. We're gonna break down numerous points here, brothers, man. So don't sleep. So shout out to Mr. What's it called? Mr. Joshua McMillian. That's an interesting last name, McMillian. Also, but I hope many millions go your way, brother. Shout out to you for the $499 super chat. Thank you, brother. Gentlemen, I love the content. Thank you, bro. IP, I'm booking a consultation ASAP. Thank you, brother. Looking forward to consulting with you. IP, I'm currently awesome for internship. Are you also able to consult? Also, let me know.
Okay, so join IP's group. Make sure you're in his Facebook group. If you're not there, contact me via there, because I'm in that group. And maybe we got to lunch or something. Here in Austin, so I have more freedom now, so I can definitely do that. I'm usually better off on Wednesdays than I am on other days. So yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. Austinite, you must be hot like I am because it's very hot here right now. So yeah, that's fine. Good to see you in Austin. Thanks for the super chat.
Okay, also, I hope you're a brother, Austin McMillian, because we have to prioritize the needs of brothers. Brothers, we need that upliftment. So, because your surname is a bit McMillian, sounds like a non-brother name. So, I hope you're a brother, McMillian. Awesome. All right, so let's get cracking. So, the next point, brother, that I want to actually touch upon, is so you meet a foreign chick, right? And you see her in Dubai, you see her in Kuwait, you see her in Thailand, you see her in the Philippines, you see her in Kenya, you see her in here, and you're thinking, okay, you like traveling. I'm not going to stop you from traveling. That's great, right? But how are you funding this, especially when I know you're an admin assistant at a pharmaceutical company? Ain't no way you can afford that within 5 months going to these different countries. What is going on? Is there an Arab dude sponsoring you? Do you have a Japanese sugar daddy? So to me, that's a red flag, particularly. So now I'm not saying that's not possible for a chick to do so. If she's a lawyer, if she's a doctor, if she's in finance, that is very possible. But if she's working the average meal of the job, a supermarket assistant, admin assistant, and I see in different countries within a small time of space, I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on here? That's a red flag, bro. Someone sponsored her before in the past, and they're either exchanging, favors for etc., for us to
Uh-huh.
travel abroad. Want to keep it PG. Would you agree with that, brother?
Yes, very much so. And one of my friends in Ukraine broke it down to me back in the day because I was commenting on these photos, and I was like, "This woman is always showing herself in this country, or she's in this country," and like I know how much Ukrainian women make on average. It's like this woman is traveling more than I am, and like at that time I was in grad school, so I was like about $125,000 a year because I was working, in corporations and while I was in grad school, and I was like, how can she travel to these countries? And I know the wages in Ukraine are basically no more than $1,000 a month. Like, what is she doing? And my friend, very good comment. She said, "Oh, she earned it on her knees." So there's a guy holding that camera, without a doubt, and that's the she earned it by on her knees in front of that guy, and that's how she's paying for everything. She's getting,
Jeez.
yeah, she's getting torn down. So yeah, so that was the thing that she always said, and she said basically, if you see like again Egypt's a big one for Ukraine, but Egypt, Dubai, a lot of them for Western Europe, and she looks like it always looks like she's thirst trapping in these areas. So it's like it's always a focus on her, and she's looking a bit too sexy. Then without a doubt, she's doing DNA exchange with a man in that country.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's like okay, you're on my Facebook, right? If you look through there, I have plenty of photos from abroad, my travels abroad. You will almost never see me in the photos. It's just the photos that I took. It's to such a degree that people have accused me of getting stock photos and just putting them on there. I'm like, no, man, this is actually me. Like, do you want the? I have the originals. I took them. I took the film. I took it in analog. So I'm like, do you want to see it? Because I definitely have them from back in the day. And uh, yeah, that's just the way they are. Like again, that's the way I am. I'm not advertising myself at all. What these women are doing is definitely advertising themselves. I have to make one comment here. I have to do this real quick. Somebody saying in the chat says basically a passport sister. This isn't a passport sister. So what I'm describing right now, okay, a passport sister is usually a woman who, with her own money, goes to another country and she gets smashed over there, and then she comes back. What the women I'm describing in this case is they're in their own country. They already have a boyfriend, and they're just not advertising to have a boyfriend, so they're already getting smashed. And then he agrees to take her on a trip, and the only way that she gets a ticket in a hotel room is on her knees in front of this guy. So she's already with him the entire time. There's no sister thing. She's always been with the guy the entire time. It's just that it's secret. You don't actually see the guy. So my friend, the reason why she brought this up with me, because I was talking about her, she said, basically on the dating sites, she can see this herself, not only with Ukrainian dating sites, but also with American ones with Tinder. She said, yeah, as a woman, she said basically, anytime you saw a woman abroad and she looks a little bit sexy, and she's, it looks like it's a little too high class for her. She's being smashed by a guy, and you should just avoid her straight out,
Mm.
without a doubt. Like, so passport bros don't go out and date her. She's with somebody already. She's taken.
Facts. She's being sponsored. We'll say that. No, not taken, Theo.
She's being
sponsored.
she's being sponsored. That's good, because that's a word they use in Ukraine. They actually use the word to be sponsored. I don't use that vocabulary. I'm like, yeah, like I don't want to say that, but she's like, oh yeah, it's a sponsor. Yeah, but she's definitely earning her keep.
And I'll give you a personal story when I met a chick like that. So again, in the UK, come across a lovely foreign chick. I'm thinking everything's good. She's great. She's feminine. I love her style. She's like, this is just a beautiful chick. So we exchange IGs, right? We carry on speaking there. I go on her profile. I'm like, yo, what's this? In the last 2 months, she's been to Dubai. you've been to Kuwait, you've been to Kenya, you've been to South Africa, you've been to
Mm-hmm.
Thailand. I'm like, okay, those trips are at least, $1,500 minimum, return flights, couple days, plus hotel, plus food. That's easily 20 grand. But you're telling me you're an admin assistant. Okay, you're what's going on here? Unless you have a rich family, unless you come from a rich family and they're funding your trips, that does happen. Phil, some parents do fund their children to do whatever they want with their money. Cool, but this chick she comes from a humble background, right? Her parents do an average job. She's out here working hard, but you've been to these different countries. Nah, X. I was like, this ain't happening. This ain't happening, man. I had to step out. And it hurts because I thought she was a chick for me. We went along very well, but I can't date a hoe. I can't date a
Yeah.
thought. Nah, bruv. Ain't happening,
Yeah.
bruv. Nah.
Yeah, I can't date one of those either abroad. And they go around talking about how they're so like traveled and educated. And I just look at their information. I'm like, no, man, you were sponsored. I use the word now, like you were sponsored. That's what's going on. You worked for that. That's why you were able to go there. That it just looks in a certain way. That's not what happened. So again, when I was going abroad to a lot of countries, and like I was just in Brazil, nobody was sponsoring me. I was going on my own dime. Of course, I was working and making myself to go there. I was there for an extended period of time, and again, I rarely have any photos of me in these other countries because the focus isn't on me. When I take a photo, I take it so that I can remember. It's for my memory. I'm not taking it for other people. I'm taking it for myself. If other people want to see that country, I'm like, go down there and go see it. Take your own photo. I'm taking this for myself. I'm selfish in this way. So again, if the woman is taking these sexy photos, it's going to be for something else. The other point that I think you're alluding to is if she is that beautiful and she's traveling, then why hasn't a man wiped her up?
Yeah.
Which is very obvious. That's one of the first questions I'll ask. It's because she had no inclination of getting wiped up. She was either sponsored or she wanted the experience of, biting some pillow sheets. That's about it. Right. And that's what she got. Boy, there's women. I know there's one that I follow right now on Instagram, and I followed her for 5 years, and she's going around saying that she's totally single, and I'm like, no, you're not, and she screws up. She has all these photos about her being in these other countries, and she's in these amazing bikinis. She's over sexualized. She looks like you're just like, yeah, like I would go for you in a second. And what happens is that every once in a while she screws up the privacy settings of her Instagram, and you can see a guy. There it is. The guy is there. And I'm like, sell him. I sell him. And then wait like 10, 20 minutes, and then that photo is gone. You're like, yeah, you screwed up. I saw it. Like, I know you're home. I know you didn't pay for any of this, and you got a sponsor guy. Yeah, I know what's going on.
Facts. Thank you, bro. And brothers, get the support flowing. Hit the super chats at the PayPal donation, and please like the video. We're live again on this Monday evening. Please support the movement. Please support the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. So now, Theo, now it's your turn, brother. What's your next point with regards to red flag?
Okay. This is abroad. This is a woman who is in another country, and she is living there. She excessively speaks in English without any desire to have you speak her language, or if you do speak her language, she tries to convert your let's talk about Japan. She would try to convert my Japanese to English, and she has no desire to speak in her own native tongue. This is a massive red flag. Again, from a linguistical point of view, the reason is that women in particular tend to be nationalistic regarding language, and they want the foreigner to speak her mother tongue. She wants them to be like her. So again, like my wife, my Japanese wife, we got married, we only spoke in Japanese, right? It was mandatory in her house. most of the Japanese women that I ever dated in Japan were Japanese only. Like they would struggle in English. They thought it was cute in English, but they only wanted Japanese. But what I always found again in these other countries was that if she only wanted to speak in English, it was usually because she had been smashed by multiple foreigners, and she was looking for that dopamine hit again. And last point before I give it to you, my first girlfriend that I had, my first serious girlfriend that I had was in Russia, and she was a translator. So her English was impeccable. It was amazing. But when I wanted to speak in Russian, she'd be like, okay, let's speak in Russian. And she'd speak in Russian with me. She'd do things as normal. And then she'd be like, Theo, I see that you're tired. I'm going to go to English for you so that you can take a little mental nap because you're having a headache. And that's good. That's a good point. That's a keeper right there. If she understands that you're having a hard time speaking the language because you're struggling with it, and you're basically tired as a foreigner. But if she's like, no, like again in Russia, for this example, she's like, no Russian, only English. We only speak in English. That's just the way it's going to be. I would have looked at her and be like, okay, so what? How many Englishmen has smashed you already? Like, what's going on? Yeah. So that's just my little point. Like, guys who are listening to this, if you go abroad to a country that doesn't speak in English first, and you're meeting these girls who like only speak in English to you, and they're not talking about like you should learn their language or anything like that, you're being hunted. 100%. You are the
I
prey.
agree with that.
Yeah. You need to get out of that situation immediately.
But what about a situation where you met a foreign chick, right, and her degree is English, learning English? That's all right, brother. But if she's insistent on actually speaking English in the relationship, especially in her home in her home country, that's a red flag, brother. But hold on, brother. Let's say, right, you meet a 24-year-old, right, 23-year-old chick, right, from South Korea, right, and her degree is English. So obviously she's moved here for 1 year to study English because her degree is English, right? And she only wants to speak English with you while you're in England, brother. Is that a red flag, brother? Even though you're in England?
If she doesn't want to speak to you in English while she's in England?
No. She only wants to speak with you in English while she's in England because that's her part. That's her degree as well, brother.
Okay. I would say ask a few more questions to see what's going on, to see whether or not she has a disassociation from her family for one reason or another. And there could be many reasons for a disassociation. So, for example, she doesn't like her parents. She had a lover back in the day who really destroyed her, and she never wants to speak her own language again. She doesn't like her country for some reason, and she doesn't want to be associated with her country. So those are actually, to be honest, those are actually valid reasons to not speak her own language. But if she's with you, like you're okay, let's say that she's with you in London, and you guys are just kicking it back, like in your place, and she's relaxed. If she doesn't speak in any of her native language at that time, but you're learning it, and she's not giving you any help, that's an issue. Like you should definitely be like, what's going on with you? And it's not that she's for the streets. It's more like she's for a therapist chair. She needs therapy somewhere. Yeah, there's a mental thing going on. I've had this happen to me more than once. That there's usually some sort of issue. There's usually a narcissist running around in her family, and that's why she's not associating herself with the language anymore.
And brother, that goes on to my next point, right? It's not only just the language, right? It's also about culture. So my next red flag is that if I meet a foreign chick, right, and she doesn't tell me much about her culture, or she makes it very clear that she doesn't like her culture. Like, for example, South Korea is too conservative, blah, blah, blah. England is very open. South Korea, they treat women like this, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, oh, this is a feminist here. I gotta be very careful here. Any woman that shits on her own country and culture, that's a key red flag. I will keep away from her. And I've met women like that in the UK, right? My country is too conservative. My country is too this. blah blah blah. Now there are some issues here, Theo, where I do agree with. Like maybe the Japanese working culture is a bit too intense. That's a good that's a good complaint because they do work quite long hours there. When it comes to cultural values, being conservative, family, and you have a problem with that, bro, oh, that's a red flag. Would you agree, brother?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with this, and I'm going to show some of my own examples of this. So, like when I was abroad, um, I didn't want to do that much with the United States, particularly when I was in my 20s. I was pretty much done with America for various reasons. But again, if you know me, you will know certain things about me that tend to always be there. For example, I celebrate the 4th of July when I'm abroad. I always do every year. In fact, I like it a lot more. I like the Star Spangled Banner a lot more when I'm abroad. I'm actually rather strong there. There are certain days in which I eat American food, and I will go out and either buy it, have it imported, or I'll go to a military base or get someplace and get it imported because I get it to my house, and I'll definitely have it. I being an American, it's typical. I eat Mexican. Kind of funny, but it's true. I do eat Mexican. I love Mexican. So there's sometimes which I have to have Mexican food when I'm abroad. It's just the way it is. Um, so those points are not eradicated. They're very strong. And when I'm in a relationship, they're still there. I'm not skipping out on them, right? So I might be like I don't like this or that in America, but let's have a taco and a Corona, right? So the culture is still there. So if she is like she's dissing her own culture,
Mm.
okay, that's one thing. But if she's not doing at least the culinary, the food, she's not showing that with you. She's not showing you how to cook her country's food. And she's not proud of it to some degree. Oh, you have an issue. Something's gone wrong. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but something's wrong. You need to get out of that situation. Yeah, something's going on. She needs help.
Facts,
So
absolute facts.
yeah.
Absolute facts, man. Hey, this is a classic live stream. This passport show is going to change a lot of brothers' lives, man. Shout out to the king, Mr. Ramel Diaz, man. Hey, Theo, right? Ramel's becoming a legend in this space, brother. He's like the Johnny Walker of last year. Last year, Johnny Walker, he was killing it last year, man. Supporting, he was making comments, and shout out to Johnny Walker, man. Ramel this year, he's making sure this is my year. He's going to IT, bro. His first IT job. He's very active on the channel in the live stream chats. He's in the Python classes too. So shout out to Ramel, man, for the £5 super chat. He says here,
Huh.
there's a growing trend in Korea called Hell Joseon. Women call their own country hell. I want to go to the West. There you go, man. What?
Hmm.
Bruv. Yo, what?
Well, I'll let me comment on that. Look on this again. Ramel also talk about this as well. If she's having a problem with Korea, that's okay. I understand that, but I would say the red flag is she getting rid of kimchi? That's the first place. So does she say that kimchi and rice are bad? Because if she says that and she's Korean, okay, we need to go get a therapist for that woman because that something's wrong. Because if you guys know Koreans at any bit at all, they're like, "Hello, I'm Korean. This is my kimchi and this is my bop or my rice, and we expect you to eat this. And even though it's really spicy, you're gonna learn how to eat it, foreigner, because this is the best stuff ever. Like you need to have a refrigerator just for your kimchi, and they're proud of it. They're seriously proud of it. So that's where I would look at it and say, okay, are you having a problem with kimchi? Because if you are, therapy. Something wrong with you. All right.
Damn. Yo, I'm sure it's in the corner to explain that even further. Shout out to Ramel. Appreciate you, brother. So the next red flag, right, I want to mention, brother, is an arrogant woman, right? And we
Uh,
gotta keep it real. An arrogant woman is a pain in the butt, right? So what do I mean by arrogant woman? I have this. I have this education. I went to Tokyo University. I went to Kyoto University. I work for this company. Blah blah blah. Other groups of people, I don't really like them. And I've met four women that have told me they don't like other groups of people. They straight up hate them. I'm like, whoa, okay, careful there. Um, I have all this money. I come from a rich family, blah, blah, blah. My mom does that, my dad does that. That's okay to actually be proud of that. But if you're arrogant in terms of trying to make people look bad, or in terms of like, trying to trying to show the world that you're better than other people, keep away from foreign women like that. They are trouble. Most likely will be feminists. Only a feminist would boast about her job, how much she get paid, blah blah blah. Would you agree with that, Theo?
I 100% agree with that. And let me just make this comment to people who are listening. Sometimes here, or like if you're in my class or if you're in the groups, I'll talk about how much salary I actually get. And I make it for a point in order to advise or to give the real situation to other Black men. I'll make this point clear, guys. When I go abroad, I do not talk about my salary whatsoever.
Mm.
It never comes out. Because usually my salary is astronomical compared to theirs, and there's no reason to. There's nothing to gain, and so when I talk with women abroad and they are talking about their salary, which I've had, and they say like I have a high salary, I kind of just look at them and say like, you do understand that if you do have a high salary, most men in your country will not date you. So why would you talk to a foreigner about a high salary? You have no benefit because I can go get a girl who's unemployed in your country, 23 years old, and just be polite to her. She'll have my kid within this year, right? So who are you? What are you talking about, right? And this, yeah, if I ever have that with a feminist, I'm just like, I'm done, man. That's not gonna happen.
Absolutely, man. Particularly when we come across feminists that come from very conservative societies, that's a red flag. She's been westernized, taken in Western media, and that goes on to my next point, bro. Overtaking Western media to the point where you're obsessed with it. All these rappers, all these Taylor Swift singers, all these Western style of dressing. I mean, that's a problem there, bro. Particularly from a Asian chick or Latina chick. Those chicks want to be white. If I'm honest with you, bro, and I don't want to date a chick that wants to be white. You might as well date a white girl, So, Western culture, when they're too obsessed with that, when I go on their Spotify and I see no mention of their own country's music, but I see a whole bunch of country music, I see a whole bunch of rap music. Nah, bruv. Go on, Theo.
Yeah, this is a very accurate point, guys. You guys need to listen to this. This is actually very true. So, again, I'll talk about from the Japan point of view. They have J-pop over there, and a lot of J-pop is very poppy, but it's also hip-hop and rap influenced. It's obvious they were taking from Black people hook, line, and sinker. Okay, but if you look at what the Japanese people are originally listening to, they're mainly going to be listening to their J-pop, and the secondary they're going to listen to is the Western rap. All right, although they really like the Western rap, the hip hop, their main stuff is going to be the Japanese stuff. They are not going to be listening to the foreign stuff first. Okay, so that if they're listening again, if I were in Japan and she's listening to Tupac and Biggie most of the time and Snoop Dogg, and I'm
Pop
just
Smoke.
like, yeah, right. And I'm just like, well, what about Southern All Stars or like Hamasaki Ayumi or Every Little Thing? Like, do you know them? Because I know them. I know those artists and those groups. Do you know about them? Are you listening? And she's like, no, man, I don't listen to Japanese music. I listen to like foreign rap. I'll be like, okay, we're done. Yeah. Ain't gonna happen. This is not gonna happen. I mean, think about myself. I mean, I'll go ahead. That's comment. Like I told you about another stream. Even my parents and myself, I've always been, the British punk wave or the British music wave from the '60s. I consistently listen to British music, but if you look through the music that I listen to consistently, I mean, of course, yes, you will see a lot of British artists on there, but there's also American ones, right? There's American pop, and there's also Japanese ones as well. I'm listening to those as well. I'm going back and buying them from time to time. So I have a wide range of influence, right? So it's not just the British, it's others. And so to say that it's only, I've met Japanese women where they'd only be listening to hip hop and be like, why? Come on. And then they go around dreads as well. Like, stop. Like, just stop, man. Like, come on. Like, get your chopsticks and rice. Get some sushi. Call it a day. Like,
and to add to that point which actually encapsulates Western culture, if I meet a Japanese chick or even a foreign chick that acts like a black woman, right? The braids, you know, the sweatpants, you know, the over caked up makeup, you know, the way they act, the way they speak. If I'm seeing Ice Spice on a playlist, if I'm seeing Megan Thee Stallion, if I see how they want to emulate them, the twerking just irks me, brother. That's a red flag there. No Korean, no Japanese. Now, I probably do expect to see twerking in Latin America. You know, unfortunately, Latin America is close to America. It's within the sphere and influence of America. So cool. But if you're in Eastern Europe, if you're in Asia, Southeast Asia, you're seeing chicks twerking, that's a red flag.
Yeah, that's a big red flag. That should not be happening at all. There might be some things in a country that they do as sexual, but it should be tame. They shouldn't be really flamboyant about it. I'm just thinking about all these countries I've been to in the world. Most of the time, they're not being outrageous with it, like you see with the ABW in particular. They're just not, because they know the rules. So if they're doing something like that, guys, that's worrying. That's an issue. Yeah.
Facts. Shout out to the Black Muslim for the $5 super chat. We've got the Black Muslim in the building. One of my Python students, very good student. So shout out to you, bro. Main cities in any countries that hurt us in Rio. Gringos are hunted, and that's most capitals. Do you want to speak on that, Theo?
Okay, so I would say the part of this channel is to tell you where we're hunted down, and or we can be successful as hunters ourselves. I'm just saying, as Black men in a great deal of countries in the world, not only their capitals, but also in their major cities, women are usually checking for Black men, particularly Western Black men. So all I can say is, I don't think hopefully that's not a question. I think hopefully that's a statement. And I'll take it as a statement if that's true.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Limo Pedro for the £2 super chat. I appreciate you, Limo. Don't date for a woman that lives in the UK or USA. That goes on to our next point, Theo. So over to you, brother.
Okay, so yeah, I wrote that in there so I wouldn't forget it. Just want to put it down there. Okay, this is a big one, and you really need to pay attention to this. This is a major red flag, and it usually doesn't happen until a little bit later in a relationship. But you can, it's definitely there. The big one is they want to immigrate to the West. This is a major issue. If you see this, you should have alarm bells up, and you should be like, why? Why do you want to immigrate to the West? So again, I was married to a Japanese woman. We always speak in Japanese. She did not want to immigrate to the West, and one of the conditions for me to marry her was that I had to agree to not immigrate her to the West, to not move back to America with her. Like, her parents were basically like, if you try to take her to America, you invalidate the marriage. So I was like, okay. So that's a major thing, guys. If she has any inclination about moving back to the West with you, you have a big issue. Most women do not want to leave their country. They want to stay. They want to keep you in their country because their status will increase. So if they're dating, again, a faithful Western man who's tall and dark and is making gorgeous babies with her family is going to think she's great. Her community is going to think she's great. This is a great situation for her. She definitely has an elevated status. She's showing off. She does not want to go back to the West. Again, as my Japanese wife said, she doesn't want to deal with racism. she doesn't have to deal with possible issues in America regarding that she doesn't want to speak in English. And lastly, she doesn't want to speak in English. And then she's like, she's like, these Americans don't know sushi at all. They're idiots. Why would I want to be with people who don't understand my food? And like, that's legit. I'm like, okay, I got it. We were in Baltimore together. And she's like, I don't want to be here. And she's like, she's like, I like the crab, I like the seafood, but we got to get out of here. That's it. She's done. We're going back to Japan. So this is a big issue. Now, I just want to say again, one point on here before I convert over to you. My girlfriend right now, she's Ukrainian, and she's a refugee in Slovakia. Even being a refugee, she does not want to go to America. Okay? I'm serious. And we talked about it. We're talking about it like a possible marriage and doing this whole thing. And she was like, look, I want you to buy an apartment for me in Ukraine, and then you can live in Ukraine together with me like 10 months a year. I know you have to go back to America sometimes for work, but I want to raise my children in Ukraine, and I want to be close to my mother and my brother. She's straight out serious. And so I was talking to her. I was like, well, we can't really do that right now because like there's this war going on in Ukraine. They're like bombing. So I don't want to buy an apartment. It gets bombed tomorrow. And she's like, well, is that really so bad? Like really, I want you guys to understand that what her idea is. She doesn't care. She wants to be there with her family. So she's basically like, okay, so then why don't we get an apartment or like rent an apartment in Slovakia next to the Ukrainian border, and then she can go over every once in a while and get some food or something, like some supplies in Ukraine. But then once the war is over, then we can go into Kiev or Lviv or someplace like that and actually buy some property. And I want to think about that. This is Ukrainians' point of view in a war zone as a refugee, saying that she does not want to live in the West, but she wants an American husband. Guys, if that doesn't show you anything, I don't know what could. Like, that's an extreme example. They are not playing around at all. They just don't. And my girlfriend, she speaks in Ukrainian all the time, in Russian. Her English is super fluent, but, she likes doing her cultural things. That's who she is. She's a Ukrainian girl.
Facts, bro. And any chick that wants to leave her homeland, right, is leaving her family, is leaving her parents. And we know that women need to be in some sort of a group, right? Women can't be alone, bro. It's their nature. They need to have assurance. They need to have safety. So what better safety is your own parents and your own family members that are in close proximity from you, an hour away, half an hour away. If you're going to a different country, that could be a day away, that could be 10 hours away. A foreign chick is going to leave that, brother. If she wants to leave that kind of safety and connection, she's not the one for you, bro.
She should not be the one for you at all. That's it. You should have a straight out red flag immediately. If you're smashing some girl abroad, you're having this wonderful relationship with her, and she's like, look, I want to raise our children in the West. Stop. You have an issue. There is something going on. Because without a doubt, guarantee you, she does not want her children to be away from her parents. Mm-hmm. Nope, that is not going to happen. No. I even offered this. I told her this. What? I said, okay, if we get married, how about I bring your parents over to the West, because I can afford a house, and I can put your parents over there, and I can actually give them a stipend, and they can live kind of close. And my wife said, sorry, my girlfriend, she said, oh, hell no, basically. She said, there's no way she wants her mother to be in America with her. That's not going to happen. But she's like, she could be in Ukraine next to her mother and her father, and she wants me to be there, but not move the entire family over. So, I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, I don't want that at all. No. I don't know why. I was like, wow, this is really deep. I want to say this. This wasn't the first Ukrainian woman who said this to me. I'm serious. My Japanese wife, she was the same way. She's like, I don't want you to bring my Japanese family over to America. No, I want them to be in Japan.
Damn. Amazing stream so far. So my next point for you, right, you may disagree with me here, right? but it's last name, right? If a foreign woman won't take your last name and she wants that that hyphenated nonsense where it's her name, first name, then her family name, then your name, we don't do that where I'm from. You take the man's name where I'm from, right? So
Mhm.
if she neglects to take your last name and she wants a hyphen name, that's a red flag, bro. That means she's westernized to the absolute core. 'Cause that's what these feminists are doing. They want to have hyphenated names with their husband's surname and her surname. Where I come from, if I get a chick, she has to take my surname. So that's one point for you there, bro. So if you
Mhm.
disagree or agree, let me know. Phil, hold on, Phil. And
Mhm.
Japan is a special case, though, brother, right? Because apparently in Japan, if a woman marries a foreigner, the foreigner must take the woman's last name, or is that a an option, brother, or is that wrong?
It's wrong. She, by law, must take the foreigner's, the man's name.
So hold on, Phil. So why do I see Naomi Osaka with a Japanese name and not her Haitian surname, brother? What happened there?
They might have petitioned. They got a lawyer involved. Something happened.
Okay.
That's only. So probably what happened, the way that I would think it is, okay, so she has her Japanese name and she has a Haitian name, right? So
Mm.
probably what he did was he said, screw it. He went to Haiti, changed his name to a Japanese name, and then changed his passport. Then came over and he had a Japanese name, was the same as his wife's. And there's nothing that they could do because that would be the easiest way to circumvent the law. Uh, I don't know if that happened, but that I would be surprised if they did something like that.
So, brother, so in Japan, brother, right? If I was to marry a Japanese chick, right, she can take my last name. There's no law that I must take her last name.
No, no.
Okay,
No, no.
awesome, brother.
Nobody came up to me and said you had to do that. With my Japanese wife, I told her straight out. I said, "No, this is your country. You don't have to take my name. I understand. Maybe you don't want to have a foreigner name. I got you. So, I mean, you're free to do what she wants, what you want to do." And she was like, "Theodore, I'm taking your name."
Damn.
Yeah. And I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want your name." It's like, okay, thank you, honey. So, no, that's it. So, yeah, that's how that went down.
But overall, brother, right? If your foreign wife or future wife rejects to take your last name, that's an issue right there. She was a hyphenate the name. To me,
Mm-hmm.
that's feminism qualities right there. That's a feminist in disguise. Even though she told you she's not a feminist, wouldn't you agree with that, Theo?
100%. Yeah, if she does not want to take your name or she does a hyphenated name, feminist, you're done. Your marriage is doomed. Particularly in Asia, 100%. You're always that. This is not going to happen. So you need to deal with that real quick. With my girlfriend, we've talked about this, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm taking your name, Theo." Same thing. She has no issues with it. So the women should really have no problem taking your name. If she has any problem taking your name, guys, go get another one. Like just straight out. Particularly if you don't have kids, go get another one.
Facts, facts. And brother, is this something you flesh out in the beginning stages of your of a relationship, or when you're getting more serious? Okay, I do say getting married, but we gotta set some boundaries. This is my terms for getting married. These are her terms. When do you start having that conversation for last names, brother?
Um, I would say the closer you're getting to a possible marriage,
Hmm.
or if you're a few years in, and well, I mean, if you're ready to actually get married, then you should actually have the conversation right then and there, and set down expectations. Um, of course, I would say like in the most of my relationships that I had, particularly abroad, I set out expectations immediately before I possibly smashed her. I said, this is what I expect if you're in a relationship with me. If you don't like it, it's not going to work. And then if I wanted to marry her, I was thinking about marriage, I would tell her what I expected with marriage as well. And usually the woman is happy to hear this because she knows what she's dealing with. There's too many natives or other guys who are wishy-washy about this and not saying exactly what he wants. And then she doesn't know how to deal with the situation.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. So let's have two more points, and then we're gonna open up the phone lines, brother, and we'll get callers to chime in on what if they agree, disagree with us, or if they have any additional red flags. Shout out to Mr. J Remo for the £5 super chat, brother. Only 8 super chats so far, brothers, and we got over 120 people watching, brothers. You gotta support what I do, man. I stream very late. You got a platform here that is literally helping save lives for brothers, right? I use my free time to get this kind of content out to you brothers, for you as well, to save you brothers, man. So please support. Very important you support. He says, Theo, our IT maestro, true, codes in a way that even a CPU knew. With a Python here and a Java there, he makes even the software giggle in its layout. That's sick, bro. Hey, did you make that up yourself, brother? That's amazing poetry. What's your thoughts on that, Theo, the poetry?
Otaku, otaku, otaku. Okay,
Is that
otaku there.
anime?
Otaku is
So,
like super nerd.
oh,
Super,
I see.
super, super
So
nerd beyond all comprehension. Super nerd. Okay, but Jay is an excellent student. So, okay, thank you, Jay. I like your contribution, but you're a nerd. You're otaku. Okay, but okay, fine. I really wish I could say the real Japanese, because they would say otaku dasai. So yamete. So that's how they would say it. But that's good. You're doing it. We appreciate what you do, Jay. So it's okay.
now my next point, brother, is now two things irk me about women, right? Number one is the urge to get tattoos or even a tattoo. I'm just thinking, right, why do you want to ruin a clear body by putting a tattoo on your body? I don't get that, right? I'm thinking,
Yeah.
now I'm sure there are many lovely ladies, right, that have a
Mhm.
tattoo, but it's just the fact that why would you do that? Tell me the significance of getting a tattoo, right? Because that's something that you have for life, bruh. When you're 50, guarantee you're gonna think, oh, I wish I didn't take this tattoo near my box, to keep it PG, right? Near her box, sorry. Uh, when she was 23, right? So I just don't know what goes on in some women's head, and that includes foreign women, because to me, tattoos is a Western thing. Now,
Mm.
it's a Western culture. So if you want to get a tattoo, in my opinion, you you have been westernized, right? That's a
Mm.
red flag. Number two, brother, promiscuous clothing. Okay.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
if your skirt is too short, if you're wearing crop tops, if you're wearing they wear this corset nowadays that is like a bra. I'm like, what's going on, bruv? And then you got a foreign chick that might copy that. I'm thinking, you're westernized, man. So those 2 points, but would you agree that's a red flag, the tattoo and the promiscuous clothing?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Especially abroad, there's no reason for this. It doesn't make sense, and a lot of women don't do it. With the women who have been in my lives, I've had a few who said that they wanted to get tats, and I always looked at them. And I said, "Why? Your skin is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. You have brilliant, beautiful skin. I love your skin. Stop wanting to have a tattoo." And they didn't get them, at least while they were in relationships with me. My wife and my girlfriend right now do not have tats at all. I told them specifically I do not date women who have tats, and they're like, okay, no, you're
Damn.
not getting a tat. Yeah, I never, I never dated a woman who was showing too much cleavage or showing too much leg. Doesn't happen. Again, with my Japanese wife, she was properly clothed, man. I had I had no idea just how curvious how much cleavage she had until finally I was with her. The way it looked like, it was like she was flat. There was nope. She actually has some mountains on there, but the way she dressed, I had no idea, and that's conservative. And then the same thing with my Ukrainian girl. She does not dress in a way that you can see anything with her. So very conservative dressing, and they know that's the way I like it. You know. And they only do it like my Ukrainian girl. She only does it if she does a pinup shot or something like that, a gravature, which she's done more than once. And oh yeah, there of course you can definitely see quite a lot. But she's like, yeah, that's what I got paid to do. So yeah, in that case, it's fine.
Theo, salute to you for setting down boundary. You told your Ukrainian chick, if you get a tap, it's over. Salute to you,
Yeah.
Theo, and that's kind of the hard stance that men need to have in
Mm-hmm.
2023. Men are very lenient, right, as to letting women do what they want to do. You don't like it, let her know and provide her an ultimatum. And shout out
Mm-hmm.
to you for doing that, Theo. Theo, how do you develop that mentality, that sort of, STEM mentality with women? I think that's something you acquire over time when you've been hurt, when you've seen just how nasty it can get if you allow women to walk all over you. Break it down for us, Theo.
I got it from the manosphere, but also I just got it from experience. And then I would just like, why are you doing this? I don't even want to deal with this. And then also learning about various diseases you can get possibly that are transmitted via the process of a tattoo. And I just don't want to deal with this at all. And I was like, why are you doing it? I have no desire for it. Why are you doing it? I don't see why. And I don't want to be in a meeting with a woman with my woman and my friends are seeing her and she has tats. It's just not going to happen. No, it's not going to do it. So again, they were told that. Something I learned from my Ukrainian matchmakers was that there was also a large segment of foreign men who refused to date Ukrainian women with tats. And they had to actually screen the women for tats, even for small ones, like a heart or like a dog or something like that, like something like kind of small you can barely see. Like the guys would not date the women on that. So the matchmakers would tell the women, you either remove that tat or the possibility of you marrying a foreign man is ridiculously low. And so the women were actually busy removing their tats.
Facts, bro. Absolute facts. And before I go into this comment here, I don't have a problem, right, with women dressing, you know, um, promiscuous, right? But only for my eyes. We're men, right? So in our household, right? Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree, Phil? Right? If you want to dress like that, right? You want to show your cleavage. That's cool, but only for our in our household, in the bedroom. Don't go outside and do it to other out there in the open. Wouldn't you agree, Phil?
Mm,
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
okay.
Okay,
No,
damn.
no, no, no. I'll say this. I'll keep it PG. So, um, Thai and Japanese women have no problem just walking around nude inside the house.
What?
Yeah, if they're wives, particularly if they're a wife. Oh yeah, they'll walk around nude. So I was used to seeing. I didn't care. She's nude. So I just want to say it's no big deal. But when she went out on the streets, oh yeah, she was like a church girl. She was professional. She was very elegant. Of course, I was buying her clothes, so her clothes, for example, her pants were $400, her shoes were $400, her blouse was like $200 or $300, right? So she had nice combination. So she looked very elegant, like a well kept woman when she was walking down the street. But when she got home, she would be like, she'd just take her clothes off and take a shower. And then sometimes she didn't want to wear a bathrobe. She'd be like, yeah, I'm just going to go and sit here nude. I'm like, okay. Thai
That,
woman
that,
was
that
the same way.
no, that's true because I did a stream or Patreon stream last year, right?
Yeah.
And your brother said that if you have a Japanese girlfriend, you can tell her, listen, do you mind taking off your clothes and walking around nude? I like you that way, and she would do it. Then she
Yeah.
walks around nude, cooking. That's what I want, brother. And then you keep it PG. Then you're like, okay, oh, she's looking beautiful. Then then you do your thing. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! IP, come down. IP, come down. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. I don't
Yeah.
want to get too explicit here. But imagine a chick, right? She's nude. She puts an apron on, right? But you can see her nice behind, and you're on your laptop. You're working IT. You look to your left. You're like, damn, Bay looking quite saucy tonight. And she nude too. Walk up behind her, you kiss her neck. Then you take the robe off, take it off. Then you see her nice perky chest. You get down, man. Oh Lord. Oh please. Oh my God. Oh, IP, calm down, IP. Oh,
Yeah,
IP,
you
calm
need to
down.
go to Japan. You need to go to Japan for a while. Yeah, you need to have some of these experiences. Because for me, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, that's 2009. Oh yeah, that's 2010. Okay, yeah. So I mean, I remember when things like that were going down. So it's good. It's fun. It's a good thing to do. I'm seeing some other
Hold on.
comments on here. Well, it was
Can I,
okay.
can I
Pierces his
so
ears.
so
What?
this is a funny one because he says here, right? I will never have a guy friend that pierces his ears. So let me give my opinion, right, Phil, right? Now, if a guy, right, pierces his left ear, I don't have a problem. But personally, I wouldn't pierce my ear, and I wouldn't want my son to pierce his ear as well. But in terms of having a friend with one, yeah, I'd have a friend with a guy friend that pierces his left ear. But if my son does it, uh, or wants to do it, I'm gonna tell him that's not flying in our household.
Yeah,
I don't pierce my ear. Nah, it's just not to me, right? um just not how we get down in my household.
yeah,
My ears aren't pierced, none of it's pierced. And I think the worst thing is when a guy has he's all his ears pierced. So the top ears pierced, then he's got the other top ear pierced, he's got the middle ear pierced, then he's got both ears pierced, then he's got his nose pierced too. I'm like, whoa,
yeah,
pause, what's going on here, bruv? Pause, bruv.
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't want a friend like that in my opinion. If you got piercings all over your body, your nose as well, keep away from me. Now, if it's a left ear pierce and both ears pierce and you're a good person, that's cool, man. What's your thoughts on that, Theo?
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's just weird. Again, my male friends rarely do they have their ears pierced. I don't have my ears pierced. I just showed them myself. I've had friends before who has piercings, but I'm like, why? So, but in a professional setting, no way, doesn't happen. Also, again, you're saying the woman, a tongue piercing, no, no, no,
Yeah, that's a red flag.
no,
No, so
no.
let me ask this, Phil, right? If you meet a foreign chick, right, she has a tongue pierce or her belly or a belly button pierce. What about a belly button pierce, brother? Is that a red flag?
It's so prevalent. I see some places you might legit miss out on a good woman on with a belly button piercing.
What?
So when I yeah, I've seen legit like really good women with who have piercings there. You just have to ask her why she's having the piercing. And usually it's she's done a photo shoot sometime, and so she wanted to have it to look sexy with on a photo shoot. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, I've dated a lot of women. So if what I always told them was, if you want a relationship with me, you got to get rid of the stomach piercing. I'm not going to deal with that.
Mm.
So just take it out, and if you want me to, what is it? You want me to pay for it, or if the relationship ends, if you want me to pay for it for you to get the procedure done again, I'm willing to do that. But while you're with me, you don't have a piercing there. And she said, okay, yeah, no problem. She took it
Uh,
out.
Japanese or Thai?
Nah, this was Thai.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about tongue piercing? Is that a huge no for you, brother? That's a red flag, right?
yeah, straight out. If she had a tongue piercing, I just keep on walking. It's not. It's
Yeah.
done. Yeah, not gonna deal with that. Yeah, anything like that, that's just not gonna happen. And also with her ear, she should only have one, maybe two piercings. Anything above that, anything like too extravagant, I'm like, yo, stop that, man. You're just done. It's too much. So it should just be one or two. I prefer one. Um, yeah, and then that she's not too crazy with earrings, but yeah, I've seen some things with that. So yeah, I'm like okay, I don't mind. But again, the stomach one, that's one that I found that you just have legit good girls who actually do have it for various reasons, and they're not for the streets. They're just like, yeah, I like it. I'm like, all right, I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good point there, Theo. So would you say if a woman has too much piercings around her body, that's a red flag, bro?
Too many piercings.
around the body, so on the chest, stomach,
Oh, no,
ears.
those are the only places. So you can't look at, for example, her chest. It takes a while longer to notice she has a piercing in her chest, right?
Hmm.
And if I find I've never dated one who did, but if I did, I would just say to her, "This, you need to remove those. We're done." Or she has piercing like what can I say, on her reproductive autonomy.
Oh,
Um,
red
she
flag
needs,
now.
yeah, that's it. We're done because that makes no sense. So yeah, I'd be like, you're, yeah, no, man, I just wouldn't do it. Um, yeah, but they usually have tongue piercings anyway, so it's easy for me to figure out from the top. Okay, we're done. I've seen those other ones, like they have it here, right?
Mm.
Or they have the piercing like here, like
Yeah,
dimples.
and the mouth
Yeah,
as well. But we know, like just beneath the lip, right? The pierce just beneath the
right.
lip.
Oh yeah, the
What?
nose pierce. No, oh yeah,
No,
no, we're
but
no,
but h- how do you feel about piercing just beneath the lip? There's a
no,
piercing there. No,
no,
she's
no.
red flag.
Yeah, especially abroad. Oh, we're done. So yeah, in the West, you see that thing that happen more often, but in
But
abroad,
she
no.
got that but she got that in her home country in South Korea or Japan, and she got a piercing right below her lip. Is that a red flag, bro?
Oh yeah, straight out. Man, she's done. I'm like, why? I got millions of other women who don't have that to choose from. Why would I just
Damn.
choose you? There's no way.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah. Why would you get a piercing there? Like, what kind of significance do you get from piercing below your lip? And you got like an earring there. And number two, right? Imagine the mind state a woman to wake up one day and say to herself she wants to get her reproductive organs pierced, and she has to go to the actual piercing shop, opens up her leg, they see her organs, and they pierce that. Come on, man, Lord, what's happened to
Yeah,
this world, man? Lord Jesus
yeah.
Christ, uh, dear God Jehovah, what's happened to this world, man? Please, Lord, we
I
need you right now, Lord. We need you right now, Lord. Please, please,
I
please, Lord,
I want
please,
to. I want a
please,
woman.
please, please, please.
I want a. I want a woman who could easily go through a metal detector, and not all the alarms go off, and they don't have to take her to a secret room to investigate what the heck's going on, right? I want to be like, okay, so you got what, earring pierce, and then okay, maybe you have a stomach piercing because our relationship hasn't started yet. Okay, that's the only ones. What are they? It goes to a metal detector, and they have to take her out someplace and figure out like what's going on. So I have to have a female come to do the search. Oh, we're done. yeah, yeah, this is over. yeah, I can't. Yeah, this is a bad one. So maybe that's something you guys should do, guys. I never thought about that. You guys, what you should do is take a trip with her before you smash her, and have her go through a metal detector, see if there's some secret piercings. Yeah, that would make sense. You're like, oh, there's some secret piercings here. Okay, and she's explaining it to you like, no, explain. Don't waste your time. It's over. We're done. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Facts,
I
man. You know what? So let me read the super chat real quick, right? Shout out to Mr. John G for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks, IP, for your good content. Have to go and study. No tramp stamps. Yes, indeed. Field stamps also represent you, my man. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, John G.
yeah.
Now, obviously, now I'm gonna open up the phone lines, but I'll give it to you
I,
to
I
you
got one
after
more.
1 point.
I got
Okay,
I got one
before you do
more.
so, brother. Before you do
Okay.
so, brother. Um, now I've had a problem, right? Before I went foreign, and kind of still is a foreign thing that I attract, right, chicks that I kind of like that feel. Like women who dye their hair, right? Women who at one point were overly liberal, women
Mhm.
who, have colored hair and they're beautiful, right? But I noticed that I attract these liberal women or women who just are weird, right? Got piercings or they dye their hair different color. And I'm thinking, I'm in a suit, bruv. I'm a clean cut dude. Why am I attracting these kind of women? Is it because I'm black, Theo?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, because you're
what?
black and you're a foreigner. So they're thinking that they're attracted to a black man of your stature. So they're thinking that it's going to be easier for her to get you because most black men's standards for women are so low. So she's pretty much like, oh yeah, I can get this black guy real easily. And that's, well, okay, I guess for us in the passport bro movement, that's totally not correct. We actually have standards, and we're actually rather high standards. So we're going to reject them. But those women are definitely going to shoot their shot. Guarantee 100%.
Bro. Also in the West too, brother. In the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like before I went foreign, right? I was attracting women that they were good looking for you, but they'd have green hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be on that grunge punk stuff, right? You know, but they were beautiful. And I'm thinking, why can't I get the classy conservative chick that lives with the Queen of Buckingham Palace? Why can't I get the chick right that, you know, comes from a normal family? Why am I attracting these ultra liberal chicks? I mean, it appears that, you know, liberal women have some sort of, you know, mentality that black men will just take them.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, it irks me, brother. It makes me angry, brother.
Yeah, that's,
I didn't go to school to attract women like that, brother.
yeah, yeah.
Break it down for me,
But
brother. Break it down.
that's because so many black men will. They're used to pookies. And so when we set the law down, like we're not like that at all. This is not what we do. They go crazy over it. They start calling us names, things like that. You like men, you like little girls, you like little boys, stuff like that, right? And I'm like, no, I just have standards, and I'm not going to date a woman who has green hair or red hair. It doesn't make sense. I mean, not redheads are fine, but we're talking about not natural, or something that is like obviously out of a bottle. That is weird. I'm just saying this because I've dated Japanese women who had red hair, right? But she went to a salon. It was black plus some red highlights, and it looked elegant. Okay, and she hadn't gone abroad. It's just the hairstyle that she liked. And of course, if you go abroad, you'll see many times women, brunettes becoming blondes, blondes becoming brunettes, vice versa, right? So that's very normal for her to change the hair color. But if she's green, purple, pink, okay, we have an issue. Yeah, maybe I would say the only place I would accept that is like Harajuku. So talking to a J chica and she has purple hair, I'd be like, okay, what anime do you watch, right? So, but so you might have a date with her while she has purple hair on a Saturday or a Sunday. But I guarantee you, Monday morning when she goes to work, her hair is black. She washed that stuff out, right? So that's okay. I mean, in that situation, that's okay, but it's permanent. No, again, black men. Again, a lot of the people who are watching this right now are black men. Got to raise the standard, and of course, if you're in our classes, we keep on advocating this. They have very high standards regarding women, and the only reason why you get women who are overweight, tatted, baby mamas, low self-esteem, low value, going out twerking and thinking that she's going to get attention is because so many pookies will go for that because they're going for the low-hanging fruit. And I say, guys, just be strong and maintain your standards and make them high and say, I'm not going to do that. You need to be a certain dress size. You need to have certain cosmetics. You need. I learned a lot about that from my Japanese wife. Oh my goodness, because she had a routine. I know a lot about that now. But she should have a certain way of looking, a certain pride about herself and her nationality, and she shouldn't bend that easily. She should be like, yeah, I want to exchange this with you, but I'm not going to bend my nationality for you. And if you get that, better. And she's not going to be doing some twerking crap ever, never. Even maybe inside the house. But that's about it. Yeah,
All right.
that's yeah.
So now, what's your last point for after you? I'm gonna say my last point, brother.
Okay. The last point that I have is she should be extremely prolific. That
What does that mean?
means she should want to have a baby with you. If you're dealing with a foreign woman and you particularly going towards marriage, and she does not want to have children, she's not thinking about children, something's wrong. Like I guarantee you, in most cultures, especially if she has a loyal black man and you are in her culture, the children, she's very aware the children are going to be gorgeous. And so most of these women, especially in these relationships, are not using protection. They're trying to get pregnant and they want the child. In particular is the Filipino. That's especially true. But others as well, but the Filipina is like hunting you down in particular in this one. So if she's like, I don't want to have a child right now or wait later on, and you already have money, you're stable, you're paying all the bills, she doesn't have to work, and she's talking about later, something's wrong. It's a red flag. You need to go look at it. I guarantee you're going to find something you don't like. And at that time, you should remove her from the relationship. Um, she should literally be, again, I've had experiences with this. I don't want to go too explicit. It's not Patreon. But she should literally be, you want a baby? I'll just bend down right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Let's get it on. Let's get, man.
It shouldn't even be like even talking. So I remember. I can't say it. Sorry. I wish I could. I'm gonna say it. I'll make another segment for you on Patreon to talk about this because again my relationships are brought on this one and pregnancies and stuff like that. Yeah. Yes. So I'll do another one. But I'll just say the women that I had, my friends, but the women I had were extremely active in this area. They had no qualms at all for making a child. None. Zero. They were more excited than the man was. They were like cheerleaders. In fact, basically, if you wanted, you could be like, I want you to be in a cheerleading like uniform and actually do a cheer. She'd be like, yep, I'll do it. I'm serious. So again, if you have a woman abroad, if you're abroad, this is a passport bro situation. You're abroad, you're married or long-term relationship, and she doesn't want a kid with you, you're in a bad situation. You need to get out.
Facts, brother. So I've got two more points here, bro. First point, brother, is the foreign woman doesn't take care of her appearance very well. So doesn't wear makeup, right? And I'm not saying you cake yourself up with makeup, but makeup does help in some cases. I want to see you look fresh. And unfortunately, a lot of women, they don't look fresh in their natural state. Only a few do have that natural beauty. So a woman, get some makeup, okay? So if they're going out the house, right, without any makeup, if you're not dressing classy, if they're just like a bum, essentially they're copying how Western women do things over here in the West. We're seeing chicks wear sweatpants, to dinner dates, bruv. To dinner dates in the West, brother. That's not flying with me with a Western chick. You best wear a long dress. You best wear some makeup, So we don't want her to get lazy in looking after her parents, right? And then that's how the hygiene comes into effect. So that means if you can't look after yourself in a physical form, when you go out there, are you showering every day? Do you wash your beep beep, keeping it PG? Are you cleaning that area? So hygiene and going out there is very important in terms of outward appearance. If that isn't up to scratch, that's a huge problem. That's the first point there, brother. Second point there, brother, is if she doesn't listen to her parents. I've come across foreign chicks, right, that said that, oh, I lied to my parents, I went to here, but instead I actually went to here instead, right? And they think that I did this. So that's a red flag there. If she's lying to her parents, the people that gave birth to her, she's lying to you as well. She will lie to you in the future. Okay. If she's someone that's arguing with her parents quite a lot, who doesn't listen to her parents in terms of guidance, that's a red flag. So two things there for you to speak about, Phil. Do you agree or do you disagree with me, brother?
I 100% agree with her parents. She should be listening to them, and particularly her father. And if she's not, if there's an issue, okay, if the father is dead, which happens, or the father was an alcoholic, left, something like that happened, domestic violence, then there should be a man around where she's getting some sort of guidance from. And if that's not happening, you have a problem. You need to deal with this because you might have like a secret lover someplace, a secret child, a secret baby deletion, some sort of issue with her, even abroad, that she's hiding from you. You definitely want the girl who is still close to her father in particular. That's one thing abroad. regarding cosmetics, when I'm abroad, I have never dealt with a woman who couldn't deal with her cosmetics. Impossible. Does not happen. And I'm going to give you this story. This is why I told you about my Japanese wife, why I knew about cosmetics so much. This is kind of funny. I know we got to go, but I could say this. When we got married, she didn't bring all of her cosmetics, and so we woke up in Zurich the next morning, and she needed cosmetics. So the first thing she did was made me go with her to the store and translate between French and Japanese so that she could get the proper cosmetics for herself. And so that's why I said like I knew so much, because she made me do this translation, and then I would see her like how she was putting it on, and then she was explaining things like foundation, like different kinds of like coloring that she would use, how colors and shades work together, and how she's like, this is how she looks natural, but she doesn't want to look like a tramp, or she doesn't want to look weird, but this is how she looks better as a Japanese woman. All that theory, she had that stuff down pat. If you're dating a Ukrainian or a Russian, she wouldn't even take you out to a store like that. She'd just go, even if she couldn't speak the language, she'd figure it out. She'd just go to the store, get her cosmetics, and come back. And then she'd take care of herself. You'd say pretty much the same thing with a Colombian or Brazilian. These women do not play around. They always have their cosmetics on point. They understand full well what they're supposed to do. They usually have a routine in the morning that they follow, a routine at night. They do not mess around with this. Their shoes and their clothing is on point also when they go outside. Usually the Americans, I dress however I want a lot of times. She's like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't care, right? And she's like, okay, fine, I'll deal with you. But, you know, for her, she does not have this issue at all. She's always impeccably dressed, and her cosmetics are impeccable. Even if she's only wearing a $5 sundress and all she has is basic foundation, she will make it look awesome on her.
Mm.
If she's not doing that, guys, you're done. Oh, you're done. That woman is not there. You're not to date her. No. Nah.
Brothers, this is a classic line. Let's open up the phone lines. We got another half an hour to 40 minutes on my end. So let's get a cracking, man. Shout out to Mr. Tech Noir for the $5 super chat. He says, support, loving the stream. Of course, brothers, man, support the movement. You gotta support. This is another classic live stream for you, brothers, man. Right? Please support. Right? Appreciate you, Tech Noir, for the support. Let's get cracking, man. So, awesome. That's what I'm saying, bruv. Brothers, get the likes up too, brothers. Get the likes up, man. So let's open up the phone lines.
This is another reason why Western women abroad can't possibly compete. Like we know this abroad straight out, because of the Western woman's having like, she's gonna like compromise on her cosmetics and compromise on her clothing, and the domestic women aren't. Well, the domestic women slay the Western woman straight out. It's not even competitive. It's done. And like, again, when I was in France, they always said they can always tell an American woman because of the way she dressed like a slob. That's how they knew instantly. And the degree of like slob determined whether or not she was English versus American. I mean, think about that. I was sitting back and I was like, wow. And they thought like, oh yeah, you're not American because like you have to be at least Canadian or French or something like that because you always dress perfect. When I was in France, I had French clothes. I bought everything in French. So I was like impeccably dressed every single day. I had good shoes, good clothes, good shirts. Everything was perfect. I had Armani as well. So they said, yeah, you dress really well. But again, the Western women, no, they always knew. That's how they could tell. So if you're having like American women, Western women, because I'm talking the French are criticizing at this point. You're talking about American English women going to another country, like say they go to Brazil or say they go to Colombia, and they're going to get a guy there and compete. Stop, because your cosmetic and your clothing game straight just there, you've lost. Even before you open your mouth, you're done, because the domestic girls have beat you straight out. Like they're on it. Like, so I'm just like, yo, lady. I guess she's gonna say, "Well, I have a degree." Who cares? You're talking about a woman, heels, good personality, good hair, and a smile, and your cosmetics correctly, that destroys your career. Your career is worthless compared to that. Like, it's just the way it is. I'm sorry. Like, that's nature, human nature.
Facts. So shout out to Mr. Jermaine for the PayPal donation. He donated £3. What the flip? He donated £3.73 pence on the PayPal. Thank you, Jermaine. Salute to you, bro. Thank you very much for the support. Awesome, awesome. All right, so brothers, now is your time to call in. The live stream link is pinned on the live stream chat for you to call in to chime in on this discussion. Do you think me and Theo were a bit too harsh? Are there any points you want to add on to the stream that we forgot? Now's your time to become a star. Okay, let's call in, brothers. Let's get cracking, man. Looking forward to classic. Hey, it's awesome stream, man. Episode 5 of the Passport Bro Show, the best show on earth. Not the NFL, not the NBA, not the World Cup, not the Champions League. This here is the best show on earth. We haven't got Lionel Messi scoring goals. We haven't got Cristiano Ronaldo scoring goals, but we have two intellectual brothers, right, that are helping you brothers directly to navigate this crazy dating scene we currently all experience in 2023. Let's get it cracking. We got someone called Passport Bros. Can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you are not a troll and you are the real Passport Bros channel? I think I know who this is. Yes, salute to you, brother. You're confirmed. Awesome. Let me bring in Mr. Passport Bros in the background. Let's get it cracking, man. What's going on, Passport Bros?
Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight?
It's my man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I saw you guys on a little bit earlier talking about these red flags, these Ukrainian women. You know, well, first of all, you know, I mean, as far as Ukrainian women, they're in a war zone. They're desperate to get up out of there. You know, they're fleeing everywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of brothers start picking up Ukrainian figure skating models or something very soon. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But what I wanted to say, I think two red flags that I've noticed. Number one, if you have a woman who's constantly talking about fear of divorce, like especially when it deals with Southeast Asian women, sometimes you might meet one and she's constantly asking about, oh, is there a divorce in your country and this, that, and other? And that seems to be a common thing because I'm hearing that and I'm seeing that with different relationships. That right there is a red flag, you know. And another one I would say is women who don't want to put you on their social media and they're not claiming you. So like they're like you taking photos and they're afraid of where you're putting the photos. Like they're worried that you're putting them on Facebook or they're worried that you're putting on Instagram or something. Because the thing about it is, especially like when you date like Thailand or Philippines, the women down there will gang up on your social media and they'll all want to be friends, right? Like, because they'll basically be watching everything you're doing. So some of them will hit you in your DMs. Some of them are looking for men too. So they're hoping that you know men like you. But the other issue is a lot of them, because of the gossip, if you're posting photos of you with this chick, you know, they're gossiping back and forth. So that could be an issue because they're spreading her news. So she doesn't want you posting photos. And that right there is a huge red flag. It's like if she's not posting photos with you and she doesn't want you posting photos with her in certain places, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, right? I hope I explained it right.
No, definitely. I agree with that, bro. So that means she's scared of you being a brother, or what would they think? Blah, blah, blah. I agree with that, brother. She has to show you off. Like, I'm happy to be with this brother. He's my joy. If she doesn't see you as her joy and post on her social media platforms, that's a problem there. Go on, Theo.
And let me point out something, and this is something you probably noticed like recently with like, say, Austin Holloman. See, the thing about it is, if you're going to these other countries and you're dating these women, right? The thing that you got to remember is if you're posting photos and you're posting videos, eventually they're going to call you up and they're going to want you to take all that stuff down. And I've noticed that not just with Austin Holloman, but I noticed that with David Bond too. Because, see, the thing about it is some of these foreign women are actually smart enough to try to keep their past a secret. you know. But here you are, you got video clips and you got dates and videos and photos and this, that, and other. And the thing about it is, if you're just dating them that once and you're moving on, they're trying to make sure all of that is swept under the rug. What they don't realize is if you got a damn YouTube and you're putting these things on YouTube, you know, people are going to recognize her. They're going to contact her. Family members may recognize her and they contact her. And that's one thing I've noticed. A lot of these foreign women, when they move, if they move with you to your country, a lot of them will shut down their social medias, partially because they're tired of people calling them up asking for money or looking for money or trying to get loans and this, that, and other. So, you know, yeah, and some of them don't want people constantly contacting them, you know, because they think, oh, yeah, well, if you met a guy who brought you to like America and everything, you could do the same for me or this, that, other, or you could just send me money, or the family will be harassing her over money, you know, like you think about Filipina P. You know that girl's getting hit up every single day for cash. You know it. You know, she built her family a house, and it's just things like that. Like, you know, I consider those red flags, you know, depending upon what the girl's internet presence is, you know?
Yep. I definitely agree with you on this one. Let me, some comments on there. Now, IP, you know, my Instagram doesn't have any photos on it posted, right? So I told my girl, my Ukrainian girl, I said, I don't date women who have active Instagrams, particularly if they're showing their bodies all the time. And so if you want to be with me, you have to at least go private, and then you have to remove all males from there. And she destroyed her Instagram. And then the same thing I said for Facebook. I said, you're just able to advertise too much on there. You have to only your friends and then make it private, or you have to destroy your Facebook. And she destroyed her Facebook. And so right now she has no social media at all. Well, she follows me. She has an account with no photos of her at all. So she monitors me to make sure I'm not doing anything. You guys know me on Facebook. I'm usually posting like, you know, exercise videos or dogs. That's it. It's really lame. I don't put any photos of myself on there. So that's rather acceptable. But she's monitoring. So yeah, I just laid down the law on that because that's too much of a problem. I saw. I dated one woman from the Philippines, and after some time, she was constantly posting stuff online to advertise herself, and I was like, "This isn't going to work. Like, I'm not going to deal with this." Yeah. So I think what you're saying is correct.
Thanks for that, Passport, bro. I got a couple callers in the background. Hold on there, Passport, brother. I'll come to you afterwards, okay, bro? Awesome. Thank you very much. Mr. Black Muslim, Ethan Nail, and you're confirmed. Let me bring in Black Muslim first, Ethan N. Hold on, brother. Give me a thumbs up, Black Muslim. Is that okay? With your camera on, is that okay, brother? Okay, awesome. Let me bring you in. Original Man is on his singing notes. What is this? He
wants me to sing it. That's what it is.
Nah,
no, he sings on his channel too. I've heard him sing. I've heard him. You too. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
Oh man! Shout out to Mr. Sean C2K, B2K. I remember B2K back in the day. Great dance group for the $5 super chat. A definite red flag. Abroad or domestic is a woman who's always spending money, picking up today. She can't save a penny. That's a definite red flag. I agree with that, bro. Because especially with Japanese women, right? Japanese women, right? They love saving money. And Theo knows that as well as a personal note. If she's out there spending money, she's a red flag. Wouldn't you agree so, Theo? Any foreign chick in general, brother.
Yeah, they should. It matters on what their cost structure is. I've had a lot of experience with this. So if they're going out and buying like Louis Vuitton, okay, we're done. Or they're trying to do that. The one that you will see that creeps in is that they're trying to support their entire family. And they're using your dime for this. And she's not buying anything great for herself, but 20 of her cousins are getting a bite to eat that day. I've had that with the Philippines before. Yeah, you got to break that off. That's not good. That's overspend. Most Asians like to save money. They're very good at it. So yeah, that's an issue.
Awesome. Let me bring in the black Muslim in the background. Let's get cracking, man. Yes, the black Muslim. How you doing, brother? Salute.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I was literally about to talk about the whole spending like crazy. That was gonna be the first thing I was gonna say, and then the other thing was father relationship, like how she connect with her pops. Like that's if she don't respect him, she ain't gonna respect you.
Mm. Facts. I definitely give that, bro. Yep.
Yeah,
no.
what I found on there also is that if she doesn't, so one reason why she may not like her country is that she doesn't have her father and she doesn't have any structure, and then she just wants a structure from her culture as well, and she wants the ability to be free or do anything that she wants, and she wants the West. And what she's really hinting at is she wants to be a carousel rider, and it's about to happen. So she's just looking for a way to execute this. I have seen this happen, particularly from women from Ukraine, but also from Thailand. And they come over to the West, and then they are just like the biggest three or fours ever. And keep your eyes out. So you want them that they love their country and that they love their father.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like, because most things that I see when women really respect your hustle and really respect what you go through is because they saw their father go through it, so they can appreciate you doing it for them. They can like, I'm about to blow your money because I saw how hard you work for it, because I saw how hard my father had to work for it. You know what I'm saying? And I just appreciate it. I do believe in the family structure, so I don't mind putting some money on the family. But when it's like what Theo said earlier, the whole entire family needs to eat off me. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
I ain't here for that. You know, I'm here. If anything, I'll start a business and everybody come work for me. Y'all can make money that way. But we're not about to sit here and just send everybody money. I'm not working for y'all like that.
Yeah.
But the other thing
I agree.
Oh,
Go on, bro. No, I definitely give that. But I think in the Philippines, that's quite common, right? Western comes in, wives up the daughter, and then they're asking you for money. I'm like, I'm not a charity here. Why should I support all of you when I've got a girlfriend I've got to support? That's not flying. So I definitely agree with that, black Muslim. And if it means we have to end the relationship, we're gonna go our separate ways. I'm not here to pay for your dad and your mum's mortgage or food and your siblings as well. The hell are you taking me for, bruh?
Well, you got to understand
Right.
the way they treat their kids. They treat their kids like they're retirement plans.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is they have a lot of kids, and they almost expect their kids to go to other countries and work, or they expect their kids to get married and go someplace else and kick back money to them. So once you understand that's their game plan. So the daughter will be sending money home to help the younger siblings in school, or they'll be sending money home to help the parents. I'm not letting you do that with my money, but my thing is, if she has like a job, like if she's working with me and she has a job, I don't mind if she kicks back some money, but it has to be understanding. Like you have to basically set some level of restriction. The way I see it, $500 a month is more than enough. If if you get her a job, she makes like $30,000 a year or something small to start out. $500 a month should be more than enough, because even if she was working there, she wouldn't be making $500 a month. So if she's sending home $500 a month, and if the parents believe that that's what she can send, that's more than enough. But they're always going to be hitting her up for loans and money that they have no intention of paying back. Always.
Yep. Always. Yep.
Yeah, a good point. Good point. That she can use her money that she's working for a job to it to her parents. She's using my money. That's not flying, bro. I'm sorry. Wait, nah, that's a joke. Carry on, black Muslim.
We talked about body count earlier, but I just want to add a little bit more to it, man. I think them numbers should be extremely low. I'm talking no higher than, I don't know. When I talk about it from a person who's coming to get married standpoint. So I'm really looking at 0 to 3. You know what I'm saying? And I sometimes I feel like 3 might be crazy. What's the reason you got to 3?
Facts, bro. Three's too much. Three's too much, brother.
Three's
I
too
would
much
say
because I don't know you. I'm not from here. I can't vouch for you. You could be what the whole village knows as the set out. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just assume that, you know, how did you get that high? You know what I'm saying? I think, and I know it's crazy because we look at it here like a girl with 3, that's nothing. That's just she should be at that before she graduate high school. But like over there, it's a lot more traditional, so it doesn't make sense for it to be that high. And I just think that if it is that high, she's already aging towards the feminism Western mentality. So why even try to grab her when there's a girl who's been sitting and, you know, preparing herself? I just, like I told you about the Moroccan sister, man, she's a lawyer. So at 0, why would I deal with the other? You know what I'm saying? And I don't even need her to work. I just like the fact that she can bring that education to the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Well, where are you looking to get a woman?
I was going East Africa originally. That was
East
my
Africa?
I was going, but the Moroccan girl picked like she just met me, like she kind of cherry picked me on the way out. I haven't even left yet. I'm still in the class with. I haven't even got to the conference down in Atlanta yet. Was this September 18th? I'm September 8th, so I'm still on the move, getting ready to get there. But
well, you got to understand one thing: virgin or not, they're going to lie about it. So even like I've known women who've had like 2 kids out of wedlock who will say that they're virgins.
Jesus.
And I mean, women have no shame whatsoever when it comes to getting what they want. They have no shame whatsoever. Now, if you're lucky and you go to like one of these countries, like for example, I'll say it like this: in the Philippines, you know exactly who's a virgin, who's not, because if she's not a virgin, she's got kids. They're very superstitious about prophylactics, condoms, and stuff. They're very, very superstitious. They don't use them, so a lot of them get knocked up on the first try. So, you know, it's like you go to places like that or Cambodia, you pretty much know exactly who's got a body count, who doesn't.
How you feel about East Africa?
I think a lot of them have high body counts.
Even if they're saying it, like if they're saying like, oh, I haven't. You think it's easier for them to lie about it there? Because I think like the traditional situations, like I'm Muslim, so like the traditional Muslim situations is how is she even going to get the medical to get the pills or to get the whatever birth controls or whatnot.
Well, two things. Number one, because of Western intervention in these countries, they've made it easier and easier for birth control and abortifacients to make it into these countries. And they're also doing their best to make it so that nobody knows when the woman goes and gets them. Unlike, you know, like where we force women to, young girls, we force them to have their parents. We force them to have their parents come and make sure that they sign for it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that possibility of abortifacients being introduced into their country. But the other thing is, especially, and I know this, especially with Muslim women, they'll use the back door rather than the front door.
Oh yeah.
And and as far as they're concerned, that still makes them a virgin.
Woo, the logic. Okay, yeah. No, I've heard. I know that's notorious. I've definitely actually met some of those type of girls. So yeah, that's wild. But yeah.
And then you run into this nonsense where they have what they call virgin repair surgery, where they're damn near go in there with surgical tools and sew the hymen up and trick you and you want. I mean, it's insane now.
Is that affordable in those situations though? Like, dang, I thought girls was having a hard time getting in here.
First of all, no surgical operation in those countries is typically affordable with what we would consider the same level of hygiene and medical treatment that we get here. Think about the surgeries that they're getting already that we go over to their countries looking to get because it's so much cheaper than it is here. It doesn't take them that much to to get some chitin threads that they use in medicine and sew that up. It doesn't take them that much to do it. So they'll accept any payment for that. You know, you can't trust them.
Dang.
You know, it's a damn shit, but they do that here. So my thing is, if they're doing it here, you know they're doing it over there somewhere.
The other thing I was going to bring in was the how she acts when she comes to your place. Is she walking in the door, cooking and cleaning? I think the feminism energy is always like, I work today, so I'm not doing ish. So when she come to your spot, she trying to like serve me, bring me something to drink, whatever. The other girl comes in, she's ready to cook full meals, go shopping, bring the food, cook it. Like this man needs a woman, and I'm gonna be that woman while I'm here. And sometimes I've seen it in situations where they'll know that there's another woman involved, and they'll still do all of that. I think those are much better catches than the ones who are like, I'm just here to have fun.
Agreed. Thank you, bro. That's a good point there. Thank you there, Black Muslim. Shout out to Mr. Banksy for president for the $197 super chat. If she has foreign friends, especially Western BW, yes, too much Western friends, even more Western friends than her home friends. That's a red flag. Yes, indeed. Let me bring in Mr. Nathan N. Nathan N, give me a thumbs up, bro. You very good? With your camera on? Are you okay? With your camera on? Okay, awesome. Let me bring in Mr. Nathan N in the background. What's going on, Nathan?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. How you keeping, bro?
Perfect. Okay, I'm good. Yeah.
Awesome, brother. Fire away, brother. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have any points to add for this live stream, brother?
So I would say, I'm in Colombia right now.
Yeah.
The girls are very. At least the girls I've run into. I don't really run into, go to the clubs. I just meet girls like at the grocery store. That's where I met my current girlfriend at I was like the Exito. She was just sitting down and she walked up to get something and I just, approached her. But the girls are they're pretty nice, very relaxed. Of course, you kind of have to like talk to them and, ask them questions.
Any red flags, brother, in terms of, how to spot, women in Colombia or even for women in general that, are not good for you, brother? If you can please add to that.
Maybe if she has like a BBL or some work done, probably want to avoid her. Maybe, but I've had a lot of good experience. I really haven't had any bad experiences. Just don't, just these are regular chicks that I meet. So don't, try to meet like a working chick. Just meet like a regular chick that works at the store or just has a regular job. That's a positive. If she doesn't have a regular job and she's not in university, then you might have to be watching out and ask some questions. Trying to figure out what's going on because that's kind of suspicious if she doesn't have a job and she's not in school. So
I will.
Awesome.
Let me say one thing about the BBL real quick. So my personal trainer, one of my personal trainers, is Brazilian. She was actually born in Brazil, and then she immigrated to the United States. And then we talk about these kind of things like all the time. And before she left the country, while she only had one boyfriend in Brazil, she had not only a BBL, but she also had a breast reduction operation while she was there. And we talked about it, and she was like, I just didn't feel comfortable with my body. I didn't like it. And the operation was basically free. So she went ahead and had it. And I was like, wow. She's like, oh, like really? She's like, yeah, just I needed to feel, that's how I felt better as a woman.
Awesome.
I gotta say that. I gotta give her that prompt because she came over here and she was never for the streets in America.
Okay.
Wow. Thanks for anything else you want to chime in regards to that topic? Even red flags or cabin a new caller?
So that was just me. Just I haven't had any experience, but I would say just yeah, what he's saying is probably right. But I just deal with regular chicks who have regular bodies, who just look normal. Just talking to them, vet them out. Most of them are nice. Most of them will give you a chance. I really only focus on Afro Latinas, so I don't really mess with the regular Latinas, but they are very beautiful, and a lot of them are single. So, I don't really have any red flags. Just be careful. Just of course, talk to her. Don't take her to your apartment so soon. Just kind of relax. Go get something to eat, drink, and just talk to her. That's my advice.
All right, thank you, brother. Awesome, thanks for that, Ethan. All right, warning to everyone, right? Please keep the words coded. So instead of saying abortion, you would say deletion, right? So anything that's sensitive, you gotta keep it coded because YouTube plays funny games, right? Okay. I don't want to keep going to them to review my videos. I'm sick of it. So please keep it coded. If you know you're gonna say words that could be flagged, just keep it coded, please. I'm not against speaking about an open discussion. We got to code the words, please. Shout out to Mr. Donovan Morrison for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Totally agree. Asian and Muslim countries are your best and easiest best for virgins in comparison with other countries. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Let me bring in Mr. Ramel Diaz in the background. Yes, yes. Let me bring in Ramel right now. Let's get cracking. With your camera off. Turn the camera off. Thank you, brother. Awesome, awesome. What's going on, Ramel?
How you doing, IB?
Fantastic, brother. How are you, bro?
I'm very well. How you doing, gentlemen?
Well, Ramel,
Doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to chime in with a red flag, something I noticed in Asia, living in China and Korea. One red flag I've noticed is this might be different in other parts of the world. I would presume this doesn't really apply to South America, but in Asia, what I've noticed is if she's too confident from the very beginning, that's a red flag. There should be an air of reservation about her. And I learned this the hard way in China, but by the time I got to Korea, there was a time where I set up a date to go on a date with a woman. She's never dated a black man before, let alone even conversed with one. I was the first black man she ever spoke to in her life. So she actually flaked on me. I experienced this in China before. Now in China, I got annoyed. But what I realized later is fear of the unknown. So we talked about it, and I set a second date again, said, okay, let's meet in public this time during the day. And what I've noticed with certain women, the ones that were overly confident, I found out, again, like Theo said earlier, they've been dating foreigners or been dating other black men. There should be an air of reservation. One, I'm a stranger. I'm a black man. You know nothing about me, nothing about my culture. There's a fear of the unknown. And what I find is those ones where they take a little longer to warm up to you end up being the most fulfilling and the richest relationships I've ever had in Asia. So an Asian woman that's too confident right from the get-go and too comfortable in your presence, I find that to be a red flag. She should have an air of reservation about her. And surprisingly, that's the one that will end up being extremely submissive to you and being rather freaky. Those ones that start off really shy.
Yes. Yes, I agree with this. Yeah, that's so with my Japanese wife, she had never met a black person outside of sports figures. So she was an international travel agent, and she helped like various like celebrities actually come into Japan, and so she would be aware of their travel. So sometimes she would be like in a bus with them. That was about it. Outside of that, she never met a black person before. So when she was sitting with me, she was like spellbound. She was like usually silent. She didn't know what's going on, right? And I was like, she's like just staring at me, and I was like, oh yeah, you don't know what's going on. And she was from this, she was a country bumpkin. That's how she was. She had no idea. So I agree with you there. You really want these girls who never met a black guy before and they don't know what to expect.
Amazing. Great point there, Mr. Ramel. Any more points you want to add, brother, from your time in Asia in terms of any more red flags, bro?
Nothing that hasn't already been said already. Again, if she speaks too much slang, if her English is too good, and you can tell the difference. There's a difference. You can't judge her straight away because her English is good. She might just be very well studied. But you can tell the difference between a woman who is very studious versus a woman who's just been around a lot of foreigners. There's just certain mannerisms that come along with the English. It's not just that she knows English, it's the way she speaks English, the mannerisms, or even the certain vocabulary she's using. You can tell, and that's a big red flag.
Yeah. How about other people? I mean, you guys have been, you guys have experiences. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with the excessive amount of foreign people. That's the that's the death of it all right there. And I was in Senegal. I had there was a girl like that. I didn't deal with her, but you could see her. She just like because so we were there as foreign exchange students, and we were trying to learn French. All right, I didn't learn any French because everybody wanted to learn their English. But while you're there, This girl is kind of in our group, and every time some new guy pops up, she's just all on him. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You already know. But she was probably the best at her English in the entire group, though. To be honest, I'd take nothing away from her. But
in Asia, hugging is not really a thing. When you meet people for the first time. So when I got to Asia, I'd meet a girl, and the first thing I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'll go for the hug, and then you'll see they stiffen up and get extremely awkward. It's not really a thing over there. So that's what I mean about there should be that reservation, at least in Asia. But the ones I found who are very open, I'll go in for the hug, they'll hug me back, double kiss on the cheek. I knew straight away, hold on, there's something wrong here. And then lo and behold, you come to find out she's a public bus stop. Everyone's had a ride. No surprise.
Oh man. Public bus stop, that's a good analogy there. Yes indeed, that's a good point. I've been on dates with Asian women, and I've hugged a few and they just look like, what's going on here? Some of them don't even hug me back because they're thinking, what's going on? So they crunch up like, why is he hugging me? That's a good point there. So and if she is hugging you back, right, and really intensely, she's been around, she's used to Westerners, used to foreigners. You don't want that, man. You want to be her first foreigner, actually. You want to be her first foreigner. You want to be her first brother. You don't want to be the second or third. You want to be her first one, her first experience. And luckily, you want to be the guy to take her V card. Hopefully, she's a virgin. you know what I mean. And that's it, man. And then she'll be yours forever, man. That's what I want for the brothers. I mean, it ain't a game to me, brothers, man. It's not a game. We gotta find the right woman in our lives. I'm done, dealing with Keisha. I'm done with that, man. I'm done doing Sharkeisha. I'm done dealing with these chicks with tattoos in the West, man. I'm done with that, brothers. I want a clean, conservative chick, preferably a virgin, man. And I hope for that every day, man. I really do. I need that, bruv. I want to take. Come, bro.
I was gonna ask, like, Passport Bro and Romeo, you guys been there in the dating scene. What puts you into like dating as much and not like ending up wifing these girls?
You go first, bro.
Let me just make sure I understand your question. What was it that made me more end up dating rather than wifing them? Did you say?
Yeah, like I don't know how long you were in China and it was in the Asia area, but like, if it was more than 2-3 years, why did you date longer? And
Sure.
then
I get you. So in my situation, it was visa issues. So I'll be honest with you, I fell in love twice, brother. I fell in love once in China and I fell in love in Korea. And the woman I fell in love with in Korea, that absolutely could have been my wife. I was ready to hang up my player card. Now, I'll be honest, in my younger years, I was a dog. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Mhm.
But I can only say the woman I met, I messed around in Korea heavily, had a lot of experiences. But the one woman I met in my jiu-jitsu gym, I fell in love with her. She wanted to marry me. It was visa issues both in China. So in China, it was the pandemic first. The pandemic hit.
Gotcha.
Everyone was leaving. So I left. I was in China 2019, 2020. So I was there when that all started. So I had to leave then. In Korea, it was the same situation. My visa kept getting extended. So I had an extended stay in Korea. But it came to the point where I had to leave. I managed to sort out a deal. I won't go too much into it. It's all on the Patreon. If you listen to my Korea Patreon with IP, the details are there. But long story short, I signed with a modeling agency out there and with a fight gym to do a 6-fight contract with them. And they were going to sort out my visa for me. Long story short, I kind of got hustled and they didn't sort out the visa in time. And I ended up overstaying and paying a hefty fine. And I got banned from Korea for almost 2 years.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's why you're going to Brazil for the Korean-Brazil situation.
Yeah, so I couldn't go back to Korea, but just recently my ban's finished and I verified I can go back. So I do have plans to go back. But yeah, that's my answer to your question, brother. It was a series of unfortunate events regarding my visa situation. So unfortunately, I had to leave.
Could I ask one question? Quick question.
Sure.
Go on. Yeah.
What happens if you overstay your Colombia visa by like let's say you had a 30-day or 90 days visa, but you forgot to renew for the additional 90 days, and then you're like you're overstaying for like 6 or 7 months, and you leave in like December 20th. What would happen?
I have to let another brother answer. I've never been to Colombia.
Same here, bro. Anyone that been to Colombia that can
I can
answer
tell
that?
you about Korea overstaying, but not Colombia.
Okay.
We don't know that eighth on the side, bro. Oh,
I surmise that I don't know, but I'm guessing that the Central South American are a little bit more lax. My friend is in Brazil right now. He his expired in May. He just went and did it last week. He had and it was real fast. The consulates in Brazil, he just walked in, did everything real fast. But he was basically a few months over. They didn't really give him no flack or nothing. He just filled out the paperwork. He did it for his kids, and his kids are half Brazilian, so it wasn't like crazy. I think it's a little bit more relaxed over here in South America than it is in Asia, like by the book, like kind of thing. That's just my guess.
Okay.
Awesome. So we got 10 more minutes. We're gonna wrap it up. Anyone else want to chime in and speak on this particular topic? We can still call in, brothers. We got 10 more minutes if you want to add to this. If you have any questions, hit the super chat or PayPal. You want to say something, Theo?
No, I'm enjoying this. This is a good conversation. I'm glad people are adding to it. Again, getting banned from a country. I almost got banned from Japan one time.
What happened?
Yeah, I overstayed my visa and I was looking for work, and that's when I was doing all my IT certs, and I got my job, and immigration told me don't do that again. And they let me stay. Yeah, but the good point with them was that I told them that I was overstaying the visa. And they're like, okay, we got you. So that was my saving grace was I had paid 2 years worth of taxes. So they were like, okay, that's good. So yeah, it's good that we're actually discussing these issues. These are actually really relevant. These are realistic.
Yeah, getting banned was one of the most painful things that ever happened to me. And my lady over there, sorry, I forgot your name. The brother earlier who talked about the women coming to your house and cooking and cleaning for you, and her behavior is a big telltale. I agree with you. I never had to coach her, teach her, none of this. Her software came already pre-downloaded. She would just be in the house. She'll cook. She'll clean. I was learning Korean and I was teaching English at the time. I would go over to help her washing up after she'd cooked, and she'd say, "No, baby, you need to study. You got to teach your class tomorrow. Sit down and do your work. I'll take care of it." And that was just her default. And I was so silly. I admit this. There was times where I had leftover. How do I say this in a code word? We call it Jimmy boys. What you protect your Johnson with when you do in the trash bag. And she'll be changing the trash bag, knowing I had other women over the night before, and she never complained once. And I would have married this. I was ready to drop every other woman for her. My mom knew about her. My mom loved her. But by the time I went back to the UK, I was trying hard to get back. And in the end, she just thought because I couldn't come back that I played her, and that I never planned on coming back to Korea anyway. So IP knows this. In my heart, I've always planned on going back to Korea to find her and just make amends, to let her know that no, it was a series of unfortunate events, and I never planned to just leave like that.
Damn.
That's a great story right there, bro. I'm over here hoping you get back with her ASAP.
Thanks, brother.
Man, yeah, I hope you do, but that must hurt, man. Cause yeah, I've been in love before, man. I know when your heart gets crushed, like you think a lot, can't do much, man. Man, I hope it goes well for you in South Korea, brother. Go on and get that girl, bro. Go and get that girl, bro, please, man.
Yeah, to the people who are asking, like, if you're a passport bro, why don't you get married quickly? I just want to say, like, I didn't get married in Japan until my 5th year. And that's when I hit $120,000 a year. So for me, it was economics. In other countries, you don't need $120,000 a year to get married. That's ridiculous. So you can do it a bit quicker. But I just want to say, it's usually dependent on money and the visa situation, how stable the man is. Then if it's a good situation, then marriage is possible.
And I also want to kind of add on to that. In Colombia, I think it's very difficult to find a chick that doesn't have kids to build a family with that's young. I realize that that's extremely rare in Colombia. And also the visa situation is also tricky. You can only really stay in the country for a certain amount of time. I think the longest visa they have is like a 2-year visa. So it's busy. Yeah, it's tricky.
We'll do a Colombia stream, brother. We got that planned, so don't worry, brother. I'm gonna come back to you with a time and date. So let's not give all the secrets away, brother. So let me bring in Mr. Bold J. Bold J, give me a thumbs up, brother, if you can, if that's okay. Bold J in the background. Bold J. Give me a thumbs up. You ready, bro? Give me a thumbs up, brother. Thumbs up. Bold J, what's going on with you, brother? Give me a thumbs up, bro. I don't want to bring you in if you don't, if your camera's on. I just want to make sure. Can you hold on, brothers? Can you hear me? Bold J, can you hear me in the background? Okay, awesome. Camera on? Is that okay? With your camera on? Okay, let me bring you in. Okay, yeah, okay, awesome. What's going on, Mr. Bold J? How you doing, brother?
Oh,
how you doing, bro?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
There's a lag there. There's a lag. All right, brother. There's a lag, bro.
I'm good, man. Theo, what's good? What's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good. Trying to figure out how to get Chewbacca to become a passport dog.
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me see.
What's good? What's good, fellas?
No, Bojo, there's a lag, bro. Call in, brother, please. All right, brother, call in again, yeah? There's a massive lag, brother. All right, let's wait for Bojo, then we're going to end the stream when he calls in.
IP, can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
Theo, in your experience, brother, I wanted to ask, so is there any way you can harmonize this? Is there any situation or any way where a foreign woman who is exposed or interested in your culture can be a positive? Because I know we've spoken a lot at length about how that's negative. Is there any way in which that could be a positive in her being exposed to your culture or wanting to know more, in your opinion?
Yes, it definitely can be a positive as long as it's balanced. That's the thing. So she can't be 100% into it. Like that's the only thing that she had. So like, for example, the reason why I know the Southern All-Stars in Japan is because it was one of my Japanese wife's favorite groups. So I got the introduction to that from her. I also got, you're not going to believe this, but what is it? Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles. Mm-hmm. I got the introduction to those two also from my Japanese wife. So she was like, yeah, I listened to this and this is some good stuff. So I never really cared that much. I just wasn't into it. She's like, yeah, this is like a national treasure that you have in your country. You should definitely listen to it. See how that works though? Like, so she's in the Southern All-Stars, which is like a group that's really not well known. She was also into some other ones in Japan. She was also big into Bryan Adams. I know her favorite Bryan Adams song. Every time it comes into her radio, I imagine her being sitting right next to me again. So what it means is that there's a balance there, right? It's not that she's only into one culture, like just that's it. It's like, no, that shouldn't be there. There should be a mix.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Ayisa A for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I'll catch the replay. Theo, I'm leaning towards AWS cloud security. How can I get started ASAP? I'm going to IP's Patreon.
Join my class that I start class 5, but it's not something you can do immediately unless you have the CCP and SAA already. So you have to do some work first, and then you should also be a part of IP's Patreon class. Python class, and learn some scripting and some ideas there, because then you have applications that are relevant that I can use in security class. So you gotta do it one step at a time, guys. can't just go straight into it. I got guys who think they can go straight in. I'm like, no, it's not the way it works.
Nope, not the way it works. So Ayisa, if you join either the bronze IT tier, the platinum tier, or the IP lightning tier, I will take you on as my mentee. We're gonna get you right, man. We're gonna get you right, bruh. All right, so appreciate you, Ayisa. Let's get cracking, man. So let me, Mr. Bo J, you're in the background, yeah? Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? We good? Okay. Camera on or camera off? Off. Okay, turn your camera off, brother. Turn it off. Awesome. Let me bring in Mr. Bo J. What's going on, Bo J? How you keeping, bro?
Man, I've just been hanging and banging, baby. How y'all doing? Is the audio better?
Yeah, it's better.
It's superb, brother. It's superb.
All right, I'll make it quick because I know it's getting late and Cat's got to get up and do some IT. I think a big red flag with foreign women that I've seen and I've experienced is, I hate to bring this up, but I got to. If she's not submitted to God, man, rather shout out to the Muslim brothers on the stream too as well. Rather that's Allah, Jesus Christ, whatever you deem as God. Because if she's not going to submit to an almighty power, she's not going to submit to you. I've been through this. As y'all know, I have been recently divorced. And if she's not going to submit to someone that's higher than herself, to y'all point also about submitting to the males in her family, she's not going to submit to the family structure where the man is the head. He's literally the head of the family. So I think she needs to be submitted. She don't need to be a religious nut. I'm not. But she doesn't need to be a zealot. But she does need to have that order so that your children are in order with you. Your career is in order. She's not going to, as Keisha say all the time, she's not going to be looking for drama. She needs to be submitted to a higher power. You know, I think that's a huge red flag if she's not.
No, I definitely agree with that. Theo, I'm hearing clicking, brother. If you can mute yourself, Theo, I think you're on your computer. So I think for me, right, that's a good point there, Bo J. Now, call me if I'm wrong here, brothers. Let me know if I'm wrong here. But I find that the taller a woman is, the harder it is for her to submit. Now, obviously, there are short women that don't submit. Yeah, of course. But women that 5'10", 5'11", the male height. I've had problems with them submitting. But women that are much smaller than you, let's say they're 5'5", 5'4", because you're a man, you're bigger. You can cover them around you. You can protect them. They're more likely to submit. Is that a crazy statement there? And tell me if I'm wrong here in the panel, brothers, or in the live stream chat. Women who are taller, they're less likely to submit. Women who are shorter are more likely. Who disagrees or who agrees?
My girl is actually, I think I'm like 5'8", 5'9", and my girl's at least like 6 foot. But she's really submissive.
Okay.
But I think, most chicks in Colombia, I believe, are submissive. I don't think and I think most chicks are not that tall in Colombia. I've only met like 5 chicks that were tall in Colombia. It's very rare.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Ethan.
But in America, I feel as if it's different. Most of the chicks who are tall are definitely way, way, way more masculine. 100%.
Yeah, I took a poll on this. I actually took some data for a few years with different sites. And what I found was that shorter blondes shorter girl with light hair is going to get married faster than a taller brunette or blackhead. And if she's above 5'8", the possibility of her getting married dwindles dramatically. Now, if she's a single mother, this isn't interesting, but if she's a single mother with a son and she's like 5'3" or below, light hair, she'll get picked up quickly in almost all markets internationally. But if she's a single mother above 5'7", 5'8", brunette, and she has a daughter, forget it. She's going to be a single mother for the rest of her life almost. It's almost always true.
Here's the thing though. Chicks who are shorter have more options. So if you're like a 5'2" woman, you can date men from like 5, let's say, from 5'8" and above, and most men are like 5'8", 5'9", and you have more options when you're shorter. So there's just more men available versus you being 5'8" as a woman. There aren't there many men who, because you want to date a man who's your height, so you want to at least be like 5'11", 6 feet, and there's not that many men who are over 6 feet or over 5'11". is rare.
Well,
So-
also the taller women tend to have those careers, whereas the shorter ones tend to have not be thinking about the careers or thinking about family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I see this so many different instances, so many different cultures. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a constant. It's not 100%, but it's remarkable how how true it is. So,
And it also, I'm sorry, but I'll let you speak after Ramel. But you know, now obviously, I prefer a woman that's around 5 foot. Sorry, not 5 foot. Sorry, 5'6", 5'4", 5'5", right? But I understand that if I was to have a baby with her, there's a likelihood that my son, right, won't be my height, who'll be her height or in the middle. So let's say, right, if you want your son to be like a NBA player or a NFL player, right, height is extremely important. So you're gonna want to marry a chick that's 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". However, I'm not attracted to tall chicks like that.
right,
I'm really not. I just can't
right.
do it, especially if she wears heels as well. She'll be taller than me or my height. That's not happening. But I'm not walking down the street with a woman that's taller than me. That's not
Mhm.
happening, man. So yeah, it's just my personal preference. I want it to be shorter than me in heels. So it's kind of like you got positives and you got negatives as well with dealing with short chicks and with tall chicks. Do you want your son to be an NBA player? Well, if you're 6 foot and you're 6'1" and your wife is 5'10", 5'9", he will likely be minimum 6'1" or even taller. He's got both gene sets, so it's hard here, bro. What's your thoughts about that in the panel, brothers? Go on, Ramel.
I'll wait for the brothers to answer. Mine was I
Okay.
had a point based on what the brother who just came in said. He said something I thought was very important.
Yeah, I'll agree with this. This is entirely correct, and it's just that it's because the shorter woman has more estrogen, whereas the taller woman has more testosterone. So she actually is a bit more masculine, and so that's why you find those taller girls talking about their careers and things like that, whereas the shorter one is just she's not talking about a career, she's talking about cooking or something like that, and she's just staring at you. See, so then you get like Brazilians. How many of them are 5'3"? Zillions of them are 5'3". You get Thai, 5'1", 5'2". You got a lot of them there. Japanese, 5'3", 5'4", right? So those women tend to be hyper feminine, and they're talking about family. That's why it's easy to marry them. Whereas the taller ones, again, I like tall Japanese women, but they tend to be more difficult to marry, right? So
Why is
most
that?
guys just they're talking about other things outside of relationships, career, blah 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 blah, and it's like, well, I'm not here for all of this. I'm here for family, to talk about family, not about my career. If I want to talk about career, I can talk to a man.
Okay. Also, I feel as if it's the way that they're treated. I think shorter females are just treated more feminine, which is going to make you in return act more, be more feminine. That's also another small factor versus tall chicks, aren't really treated that feminine versus compared to the shorter chicks. So it's just a little bit different in terms of their behavior. They kind of become masculine over time because men don't really view them as like feminine objects. We're feminine, just being, females in general. So that's a little small aspect.
Thank you. Go on, Ramel.
Yeah, there was something the gentleman that just came in said. It caught my attention. I thought it was extremely important. He said about I'm paraphrasing, so forgive me, brother. When he was saying in terms of red flags, a woman who doesn't submit to a higher authority, whether it be a spiritual higher authority or a male higher authority, such as her father. Now, this is one of the reasons why I lean more towards Korea, because Korea is an extremely spiritual and religious nation. I wanted to ask Theo, how does that shape up in Japan? Because from what I'm seeing, they seem to be a very atheist society. How does that shape up in terms of a woman and having any kind of spirituality and things like that? How does it work in Japan?
For the most part, most Japanese are atheists. This was an issue in my marriage. So I'm a definite theist, and she was not. And so there were various principles where I definitely had limitations and she did not. and
Ah.
it created a problem inside the marriage. So I would definitely agree. You need to have at least some sort of religion on both sides.
Thank you. I've always wanted to ask you this, Theo. This has been on my mind for a few panels. It just slipped me to ask. But yeah, I feel this is one of the reasons why, as much as I'm so interested in Japanese women, I slightly lean more towards Korea, just because they do have that foundation and spirituality. Sorry.
But
So do
remember,
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
So Theo, you lean towards Korean women over Japanese women, bro.
Remember, the only reason I didn't marry Korean is because at that time, so few of them were even considering brothers. If the situation that we have right now with Korean women, which looks much better, if we had this if I had it in the middle 90s, I never would have set foot in Japan. I'd have a Korean wife right now. I'd probably have 4 kids. That'd be it. There'd be kimchi and rice, and I would have I'd be a happy man, properly loved and taken care of, and that'd be it. It'd be done. I'd be like Pooh Master, right? Right? That's it. That's all I would be doing. I would be totally in the Koreans. That not having the religion in Japan meant that a lot of boundaries that you would think that should be there were not there, and so you're looking at her and you're like, you can do things that are going to be destructive to me, but I can't retaliate because I'm religious. Like, this isn't good. And she didn't care.
Oh, wow. To keep it obviously keeping it PG, right? Aside from the obviously naughty stuff, right? What kind of things would they do that isn't conductive to your religion, Theo?
She went out to Kabukicho and
and
went out all night to go drink with her friends, and then expected me to go pick her up. And that's the sex capital of Japan, actually, and to go pick her up because she's drunk and she doesn't know how to get home.
Wow.
That was one example. I was totally against this. While I was looking for her, I couldn't find her, so I actually went over to the side of the road real quick, and I called her parents up, and I yelled at them for 1 hour. And her mother was Catholic, so her mother understood why I was screaming. Like, this was a major issue. This was not to go down. Like, I did not want to be here. This is someplace, again, from a religious point of view, I do not want to be here at all. So you being a Catholic had a daughter take me to this like cesspool, and especially at a night, on a Friday night, where it's like, it's pretty bad on a Friday night. There's stuff going there I do not want to see, period. And I was like, even when I was single, I didn't want to see this stuff, and I'm a married man, and you're making me see this stuff. Your daughter is making me see this stuff right now. It's because of you and your parenting. Yeah. So I finally got her and took her home. And then I remember I got some food, came back home, and she was crying on the sofa because her parents called her. So the only reason that, when I say this though, the only reason why she thought it was bad is because she disappointed her parents. Not because of any guardrail with me. Damn. Yes. Yeah, that's why I say there was a problem. This was one of them that happened. There were others. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, you can't do this. Like, as I told my wife, I said, you never had to worry about me being in Kabukicho. It never happened. I was never there.
How hard, right, would it be to convert a Japanese chick to a religion, Christianity, Islam, a higher power? Would that be very hard, bro? I know the atheist society, but how hard would it be, and how hard was it for you, brother, to get your wife? No? Damn.
No.
Oh.
Stop. No. It would just be like, if you can get a Korean woman who is a theist, and she's Christian, loves God and stuff like that, reads the Bible, and she wants a black guy, and she has guardrails, that's where you go.
See, this was a very personal red flag for me. When it comes to just dating, I don't really care. But when it comes to being marriage minded, a woman having some sort of spiritual life is extremely important to me, because it leads to her submission as well to you as a man, because it's not seen as something shameful. Like she already submits to God or a higher power, so it's natural for her to submit to her man, and she doesn't see it as something shameful, but rather as something respectful. Of course, why wouldn't I submit to my man? And I found that in Korea, don't get me wrong, Korea has its bad sides. You see girls drunk laid out in Hongdae as well, but Korea, you see it. But Korea as a whole, the country as a whole, is deeply religious, deeply spiritual. Yes, you have some cults where they take it to the extreme, but as a whole, Korea is extremely religious, and many women are dated. They go to church with their parents on Sundays, and they have that at least a basis in spirituality, which I just find more conducive to marriage and long-term relationship being successful.
Oh,
Yep.
so,
Yep.
brother, the feminism in South Korea is becoming a problem. It's growing there, brother. So, I mean, and that's my I'm conflicted here, right, brother? Because obviously Japan feminism isn't a problem yet. Hopefully, it doesn't ever become a problem. But the women that are atheists in South Korea, the women are religious, but feminism is growing there, brother. What do I pick, brother? I mean, can Romeo and Phil, help guide IP to the promised land?
I wouldn't be worried about feminism in Korea.
Same.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Just
worried
not-
either. Like it is growing, but what I always say is compared to what, compared to what, compared to the West, the feminism in Korea is not an issue. Yes, it's growing because it's like this is Asia. It's weird to see it, but compared to the West, you're good. And in Korea, you can still find the traditional submissive, loving woman that you're looking for. It's absolutely there. It's actually there in abundance. It's not something you're gonna have to spend an excessive amount of time looking for. These women are there in abundance. So I'd rather take the little bit of feminism there and find a spiritual woman than that's my choice. Now I have a deep love for Japanese women, but when I think long term marriage, it's almost a non-negotiable for me for my woman to have a spiritual element to her.
So it looks like for me, right? My circle's quite close now for Japan. I have to target Christian Japanese women. It's there, but it's very small. I mean, how am I gonna find them? I mean,
it's less than 1%.
Yeah, when I was in Japan, I did see a church there in Japan. I saw some churches, but I'm sure it's not going to be filled up. But that's a starting point, brother. Less than 1%. That's around 300,000. Half of it would be women. 150,000. That's going to be a tough one,
No, it's not half. The ratio is 7 to 1. 7 women to every 1 man in the churches.
Oh wow.
In Korea, in the churches, these women are hot as well. They're not no fugly girls. They're hot.
No, they're not. And the problem is in the Christian church in Japan is that most of the women are much older. And if you go in there and the pastor knows you, he's going to be pretty much like, yeah, we've got women here. Do you want one? But the selection is just really low. I'm just telling you, most of the people are dying out. So most of the growth you're having with the Christian church is with the foreign Christian church. And a lot of those are kind of like the West. You get these women who have these pasts that are whack coming in, and then they're sitting in the church. But it's kind of like on my first podcast with you and Tony. They're kind of gray, so they're obeying the ideas on Sunday, but they're getting their black backs blown out on Friday and Saturday.
Oh,
and you're
wow.
kind of like, oh, but to them that's okay to do. Now to avoid a feminist in Korea, correct me if I'm wrong on this. This is how I would do it in Korea. I would just say, I need some kimchi and rice or kimchi and bap. Can you give me some of that? And most Korean girls, again, correct me if I'm wrong, they're going to stand up and say yes, and boom, go get you some kimchi and bap, and bring it right to you, and then she's not a feminist.
He's telling the truth. I dated one absolute feminist woman in Korea, but that broke down quickly, and it's just programming. Once they meet a real man and get that love, a lot of them are just looking for love in the wrong ways, and they don't even know that they need it. Again, it comes down to what you said as a red flag before: daddy issues. That was the root cause of it. So the feminism there is not the same as in the West. She had daddy issues, but after dating me, she started to be submissive very quick, and not because I forced her or talked about it. It just came naturally. And that's
So
Yeah,
essentially,
I definitely
go on,
agree.
Phil.
No, I agree
So,
with what he's saying. Yeah, entirely.
so essentially, Mel, you took out the feminism out of her because you came in, were masculine, guided her, took out the bad things out of her, and then she got right and correct. Is that what you're saying, Ramel?
I'm saying that's absolutely correct. But what I'm also saying is the abundance of amazing, feminine, submissive women in Korea is to the point where you wouldn't ever have to worry about training a Korean woman out of her feminism. There's too much abundance there.
So you're telling me, right? So Theo and Ramel are telling IP, stop focusing on Japanese women and get yourself over to South Korea. I'm actually considering it, you know.
I'd say at least experience it. Before you make your final decision, at least experience it.
Yeah. Because I'm seriously considering like doing a month in Korea right now. Just seeing the situation what it's like, because if the door is open, I would marry a Korean woman first among all nationalities. They're that good. Yeah.
What? Theo, what's happening with Blonde Bay? What's happening with Blonde Bay, bro?
Because if that means that the Korean door wasn't open. So the Korean is accessible, and I can meet a decent one. There's lots of decent ones, and I'm having a good time with her. Oh yeah, I would rather my kid come from a Korean woman than any other nationality. Straight out, I'd rather her be in the house right now. It's a wrap. Yeah, they're that good, and so because I don't have access to that, but I have access to Ukrainian. Okay, fine, I'm with Ukrainian right now. But don't get it twisted. Yeah, and Ukrainian is somewhat of a compromise.
Oh, and Ramel, they checking for brothers in 2023, brother. They checking for me, brother.
Beyond checking, I've told you so many, brother. Right now in Korea, I don't know how it was back in the day, in Theo's day, but I can absolutely say right now, Korean women are absolutely checking for brothers, man. Checking. Oh, and I'll give you a bit of intel. As of a month and a half ago, Korea's changed their visa policies. It's temporary, it's not permanent, so I'm not sure when this will revert. But for certain countries, and I believe the US is on that, but the UK definitely, you don't have to do any pre-visa applications. You can just turn up and get your 3 months automatic.
Well,
amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a punk because I'll be like, yeah, we're protecting you. We got your nuclear shield going on, so yeah, you better let me in your country. Okay, I'm bad. That was a bad thing to say, but it's like I can say that. Anyway,
you're bad. You got it. Then you say you're bad. You're bad. All right, Peter MJ.
I like it. So
there's a super chat for you. Go on.
Okay, so Theo, why didn't you marry Ty instead? It was because I broke down with Ty and I couldn't maintain frame, and I didn't understand how to make measure risk to see if she was going to leave or not, or she's going to do hypergamy and go for a richer man or not. I didn't understand that. If I had understood that when I was there and I was with Thai girls, there would be, without a doubt, right now there would be a Thai woman in this house. And again, I'd probably have 3 kids with her, and I'd be busy making number 4. That's how much I love Thai. They're just amazing. They're wonderful women. Again, the only difference, again, if I could have Korean, I would be in the manosphere. That's it. She would have taken me out. I never would have had a need for the red pill or anything like that. There's no way I would have been with her the entire life. Because the Korean women are amazing.
Amazing.
They're amazing. Great. So I said this on your stream before, and I'll say it again. Korean women are only women that I know that I can sit down, a beautiful one. I can sit down with her for 1 hour, and that 1 hour I will not think about shagging her. I will actually have a better life, a better personality, a better mind, and I will be an improved person. And I'm thinking about the next day to talk with her. Shagging, any physical activity is kind of like a secondary consideration. And this is a woman that I'm totally turned on by. Like she's like the height, the pinnacle of what I would want to breed with. That's how good their minds are. They're just wonderful women. Like when she talks, I listen happily.
Theo's
That's the
right.
way they are.
Theo's
Yeah.
right. In China, I just wanted to smash, but them as people, I couldn't stand it for the most part. But in Korea, they are genuinely such a pleasure to be around. It got to the point where Theo was absolutely right. They're so hot and sexy, but it became more than just wanting to smash. And don't get me wrong, I wanted to smash all the time because they're that hot. But I genuinely enjoyed these women's company. Like, I was absolutely happy to spend all day with them, going out, talking, just spending time. They are absolutely so much fun and a pleasure to be around.
Yeah.
And they're funny. And they're funny. They like to make jokes.
Funny.
Laugh with you.
Their jokes are witty. Yeah, like again, like going out in the West, I don't want to go out. Like I don't want to go to a restaurant. I feel that as being a waste of my money. With Korean women, I don't even care about the money. It's a joy to be with them. It's a joy to go out and just talk with them. They're wonderful. You'll never think you lost money going out. Like going out and having like Korean food with them is a cultural experience. It's a learning experience for you. You get to learn so much more. You get to be with this amazing, wonderful woman. And you don't want the date to end. You're not thinking about banging her either. You're just like, I really don't want to be without you. I want you around. And when she goes home, it's like, damn, man. Oh, man, I lost out. Yeah.
Wow. It ain't too late, Phil, man. It ain't too late, brother. You might find you a half Brazilian, half Korean chick, brother. You never know, brother. Shout out to C2K for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to J Remo for the £2 super chat. Second time tonight, J Remo supporting brothers. You got to support me. Hit the PayPal, hit the super chats. Appreciate you, bro. Reformed Western woman, belief in God, worth it. What does that mean, bro? I have no idea what that means. If you can explain that in the chat, Remo, that'd be great. That'd be great. All right, let's go on for another 10 minutes. Is that okay with you, brother?
Sure.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm enjoying this conversation so far, and I think I have to start considering South Korea. I need to see what Ramon was speaking about, because if I go there and I find South Korean women are a lot more pleasant than Japanese women, because Japanese women, they're pleasant. I went to Japan and they did shit. I love them. But if South Korea, if they're better, I might have to start learning South Korean. Because for me, religion is important. She needs to believe in a higher power. In Japan, they are a huge atheist society. This is hard, man. But thank you, brothers.
Happy, you like the idea of being lotioned, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. My career lady, man, loves her soaps. I was always stuck top in soap, and after jiu-jitsu class, she'd always be washing my back for me.
What?
It wasn't once or twice. It was a regularity.
Whoa. Hold on, remote. You telling me, right? South Korean women are happy to bathe and moisturize passport bros and brothers from head to toe.
I'm telling you, bro. And I remember Pooh mentioned this on one of his streams as well. I'm gonna keep it PG, but in the culture over there, like, you shower beforehand, you shower afterwards, and yeah, you go in the shower together. We'll scrub your back for you. It's not unheard of, and they're happy to do it. And this was my experience, and feels absolutely right. They're just a pleasure. Like, I would absolutely take a Korean wife any day. Now, don't get me wrong, I do want that Japanese experience, but when it comes to marriage, I can't lie, my heart is leaning towards Korea.
Yeah, let me give an example of what I had before, because I was in university. I would be lifting, right? So my shoulders and my neck would be hurting. And the girl that I was with at that time, she would bring me out a bowl of ramen, which was exquisitely made, perfect. And then she'd get some oil out and massage my neck and my shoulders. And I was like, what's going on? I've never experienced anything like this at all. I just didn't know what to do. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. All right, we got one more caller. That one, Fires, turn your camera on in the background. We have 7 more minutes. We're going to end this. Turn your camera on. Okay, you confirmed, Fires. Thank you. Remo says here, what I meant was, our reformed Western women who believe in God were considering again. No, because these reformed chicks have been ran through. No, bro.
No. No. She might be reformed in front of Christ. She's a 304 in front of us.
Yeah.
And that's the way she's going to remain. And her desire is going to be based upon her history. It doesn't matter how much she has before. You see videos about this on YouTube about women saying they've been converted, cleaned up by Christ and everything, by the crucifixion and everything, and their husbands can't turn them on. Yeah, because their husbands ain't running game on them and doing crazy stuff on them. They're just basic Christian men, and it's not going to work. So she's bored. Yeah, no kidding. So don't even consider them.
Thanks for answering that. So let me bring in Fives. He's going to be our last caller. We're going to wrap up after. All right, let's go. What's going on, Fives? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. Can everybody hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. Fire away.
Since I am the last caller, I'll just make it short and sweet. So the topic is spotting red flags in foreign women. So I didn't catch a lot of the streams, so please bear with me. But one thing that I noticed in Panama and in Japan specifically was if the lady was asking you what your nationality was first. Again, I'm not sure if this was already covered in the actual stream, but I don't know what it was, but to me, that's just them fishing for money. Like in my experience, like if they say, "Oh, what nationality are you?" Because you got to remember, in Panama, I was Panamanian to them until I opened my mouth. When they opened my mouth, they instantly got like wide-eyed, or a lot of them got wide-eyed because they thought I had like $10 million just simply because I was American. So like little cues like that just kind of irk me. Japan, that never happened. Japan, I think they just care more that you're a good person. But over there, like they're just really economically like not in the best straits. So that's just my 2 cents.
Awesome. Do you agree with that, Phil, or do you disagree?
I would say for the Japanese, they're already rich. To be honest, they're already well-to-do, so they're not going to care. They're going to care like, do you like them? Korea, largely speaking, would be the same way. Other places, they would know I was American because of how big I am. So I can't hide it. So yeah, if they were talking a lot about America, I think that would be weird. Most of the time, they were talking about their own country. So I kind of agree. Yeah.
Awesome,
yeah, it depends
awesome.
on the place.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, Fives. All right, so thank you for that statement there, Fives. Let me go to the other callers for the last statement. Bo J, do you have any closing statement, Bo J?
I'm on the way to Korea after my AWS training. Can't wait to meet Obsidian and Theo and see. Yup, screenshot taken. So thanks, RP and Theo, for always lacing us up on Monday, and shout out to Ramel and everyone else on the panel. Love you guys. Peace out, man.
Awesome. Okay, Remote, can I check in now, Remote? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Go for it, brother.
Hold on. Let me check out something real quick, brothers. And hold on, brothers. Chotomate kurosai. Let's see.
I like this book. It smells so good. It smells like marriage to a Korean woman.
Internet is what's going on, man? Damn. Hold on. My connection is pretty bad. I'm in a third world country. Please be patient with me.
Sure. I'll just learn 1,000 words in Korean real quick. And, get closer. Oh, there we go.
Oh, snap.
Korean. Oh yeah.
Good one.
Okay. All right. You know I could throw down with books. So there. Okay, got speaking. Okay, there we go. We got another one. There it is.
Why can't I see anything, bro?
You've got kimchi in your eyes.
All right, remember, I'll check after my internet's really bad, man. I can't even view your chat, bro. This is
Hold on.
AOL internet.
How do you like organic Korean? I was gonna order that. Do you like it?
This one, it's good. It's practical for everyday life, like when you're ordering in restaurants and things. But I'll be honest, the one that really improved my speaking was this guy, Songwon. He just broke it down very easily. But organic Korean is good. But this is my favorite.
Okay, I'll go look that one up real quick. This is good. Oh, nerdy.
너무 좋아요.
Otaku.
진짜. This one's really good. I said really good. That's what I said in Korean.
Okay, let me. Oh, there, I got it. Yep, got it. Yeah.
Fucking hell, I can't even view it.
찾고 있어요.
Right, sorry.
found it.
Sorry, Ramel. I can't view it, bruv. My internet is really bad at this time. I'm
No
gonna
worries,
check it out in
brother.
the morning. But thank you for sending that over, Ramel. Appreciate you, bro. Awesome. So shout out to you, Fives. Thank you, brother. Awesome. Shout out to Bo J. And Ethan N. Do you have any closing statement? Ethan. Have you fell asleep on the lap of your 6 foot Colombian girlfriend? I think you have. All right. Have a good night, Ethan. Okay. Peace out, brother. Hopefully the session was good, right? Take it easy, brother. Shout out to Mr. Ayisa A for the $499 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Theo, thanks for the tech advice and stories. I will start my CCSP journey. I'm looking at CCP. CCSP, that's a cybersecurity cert. CCP. Okay. So you don't get confused. I'm looking at Philippines, Vietnam, and Korea now. Let's go. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Good stuff, brother.
Yeah, you need CCP and then SAA in AWS, and then you can go for security afterwards. CCSP, I teach that. You should only get that after you get your cloud security certs and you know what you're doing. Then go ahead and go for that.
Awesome. Mr. Ramel, do you have any closing statements, bro?
Guys, just stay on your path. Keep learning your languages. Keep studying. Get into IT. Listen to Theo and IP. These are good brothers. And take good advice. That's one thing I pride myself on. I do not waste time. When I hear good advice, I jump on it. Listen to brothers who've done it before you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ramel. Appreciate you, bro. Let me bring in Ethan briefly. He's there. Ethan, do you have any coding statements, brother?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just kind of doing something on my screen. Yeah. Yeah. So what I recommend is you guys, be positive, focus, try to get like a remote job. If you can get something in software developing or, IT, get that, travel the world, enjoy life. Don't just live the rest of your life in the United States and think that's all you can do, because you can do more. Because I've clearly done it, so it's clearly possible. Get your job, your remote job, because you need that to travel and make money, or anything that you do to make money. If you have like real estate properties you're renting out, just do that, and then go to any country. The whole world is yours. Try to be have a positive life and explore and go to different countries and travel. That's my advice.
Awesome. All right, thanks for that, Ethan. Much appreciated, bro. Mr. Theo, my amazing host. Hold on. Shout out to Mr. G. Are you Chinese, bro? Why'd you have a Chinese name, brother? For the $499 super chat. If she has too many friends, it's a red flag. Good women only have a few friends and are close with their mum and their dad too. Yes, indeed. Salute that. What's your thoughts on that, Theo?
A female friend, she can have as many as she wants. And then she should probably know the elders in her community, particularly the elderly men, the older men, but not a lot of guys. It wouldn't, not guy friends. I know women abroad who just know a zillion women, so I don't have a problem with that.
Awesome. All right, fantastic, man. All right, so Theo, do you have any closing statements, please, bro?
That's another good live stream. Good to have it. Another one where we end talking about learning Korean. It's very interesting. It's going towards this every time. Yeah, so I mean, I'm like, I got to get my act together and get more MP3 downloads and get my audio files and put it all into my iPhone and get that organized. Good. End of July. Of course, you're in the future over there in the UK, but we're in the past here in the States. So end of July. great live stream, guys. Look, support IP on this. He's working hard on this one, getting live intel. We would never have this kind of conversation without IP. I mean, just straight out honest, and all of us, including myself, are very much indebted to IP for doing this. This is wonderful. I never would have even thought about doing this. So we are able to talk about them. We're able to do like talk about travel, talk about foreign women relationships. This is like the ultimate Passport Bro area. So guys, cop the merch, join the Patreon, do as much as you can, support IP, please, because he's making our lives much better. All right. And hold on. There's a super chat that just came in.
Okay. Shout out to
It
Sean
says,
C2K for the $5 super chat. Oh, you read it, brother. Go on.
to the panel, all the Korean women become our. What are you, nuts? All the Korean women, all? Are you cuckoo? Okay, so what's next? They all of them become dinosaurs?
That's a lie.
Or lizards? Come on, bro.
That is a lie.
You
That
ain't
is not
talking
there.
about. No, man. Sorry. No. What's next? If all the Korean women become ABW, they just mutate into ABW? Yeah, right. That's a horror movie, bro.
Maybe the ones
chill.
in America.
Okay, that's not going to happen. They're going to remain just as they are, and mostly Christian throughout their entire country. Go there and find out. Okay, that's it. That was a cute little question. Right?
Thanks for the super chat there. Aussie, nah, bruv. Even if they're on that stuff, nah, it's not happening, bruv. Nah, but they smashing those dudes, nah, bruv. It ain't flying in my
no,
bro, nah,
no, Aussie, no,
nah, bro, 0%. Shout out to Mr. Real Black for the $5 super chat. Thanks for the excellent vids, bro. Thank you very much for the kind words in the super chat, Real Black. Salute to you, brother. Salute. So, a great live stream, Theo. Thank you very much, brother. And shout out to Ramel and all the brothers who called in, Ethan, etc. And yeah, great live stream, brother.
Peace out.
Thank you, Theo. Peace out, Theo. Thank you very much. Let me just spit sound for a bit. All right. So thank you, brothers. Thank you. Another great live stream, and it's almost 5 a.m. brothers in the UK, and I got work in 2 hours, bruv. No, 3 hours, bruv. I got work in 3 hours, bruv. You know, all to help you live a better life, man. Or to guide you to the promised land, brothers. Or to get you out of the matrix, brothers. I got work in 3 hours. I'm only gonna sleep for another 2 hours, man. I got 2 hours of sleep, brothers. 2 hours of sleep. We brothers, we put in work here for brothers, man. Me, Theo, Ramel, the whole Thomas Demswood, you know, Pooh, Johnny Walker. We put in work for you, brothers, man. Cause this ain't a game to us, man. This isn't a game. 3 hours is just to help you, guide you to find out what kind of foreign woman you need to avoid. You don't want to wife up no bitch. God forbid. I don't want that in my life, man. I don't want that. I've worked too hard. I've put too many hours. I've sacrificed holidays, summers to get this as where I am right now. All that hard work will not go in vain for me to lose it all to a bitch, to lose it all to a chick that been ran through by 50 dudes. So I need a virgin, brothers. I need a virgin. I fiend for a virgin. I want a virgin, brothers. I want that virgin. I want that femininity, that submissiveness. I don't want no red flags, man. This is why we do these streams, brothers. Cause we ain't playing no games out here, brothers. This is life, brothers, man. This is life. And life ain't no joke. Life ain't no game. You know, one wrong move, it can be over. One wrong choice, one wrong woman, one wrong bitch, It can be all over, brothers. You can lose it all, man. Get into IT. Build yourself up. Build your character. Build your mental state. Be strong mentally. And let me tell you, as you're in the West right now, you need to be mentally strong, man. You need to be mentally strong in the West and when you go abroad. Because women, whether she's Western or foreign, women will disappoint you. So don't fall in love quickly. And even if you do fall in love, you still need to you still need to remain stoic because women can change. So protect your assets. And of course, we're gonna have streams in the future as to how to properly protect your assets, man. This ain't a game to me, brothers, man. It ain't a game. We deserve the best out of this life. We deserve prosperity. We deserve wealth, health, riches, opportunity, blessings. Shout out to Johnny Walker. Johnny, where you been recently, bro? We need you back on the live streams, Johnny, man. We miss you, Johnny, bro. Where you been at, brother? Hopefully you ain't dealing with Keisha, brother. Hey, shout out to one of my superstars, Mr. Johnny Walker. Amazing brother, intelligent brother, super intelligent, going places, man, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you, Johnny. Welcome back, brother. Sorry for dropping in late, but wanted to show some support, brother. Even though you dropped in late, you show support, man. That means a lot to me, bro. That means a lot to me, bro. Thank you so much, Johnny Walker. I appreciate you from the very, very bottom of my heart, bro, for all the support you give for the channel and everything else, bro. It means a lot to me, man. Working out, brushing up on my Brazilian, and staying focused. Keep it up at IP. Yes, brothers, make sure you're busy while you're in the West. Because if you're dormant, right, if you have nothing to do, thoughts start to creep in. You become lazy. You start dealing with Keisha again. You know, you become directionless. You have no purpose. You need to have purpose, brothers, while you're in the West to build yourself up. Learn a new language, study, work out. Always be busy, man. When I'm not busy, I hate it. I have to be busy. I have to be doing something because if I'm not busy, I start thinking about, okay, it's terrible here, blah, blah, blah. And my thoughts go all over the place. I need to be busy, whether it's learning a new language, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's working out, whether it's studying. I gotta be busy, brothers. I need to work towards a particular goal. Brothers, you need to work towards goals, man. We are in August. We have 4 more months left before the year ends. What have you done in this year so far, brothers? Have you listened to me? Because I remember back in December last year or January this year, I set my agenda for this channel as to my personal goals, and I've almost achieved my personal goals for this year, brothers. It ain't a game to me, brothers, man. Stay focused, be consistent, executes. When you start something, you finish it. So if you start a new language, right, back in February, and now you forgot about it, pick it up again, man. Finish it. Strive towards your goals. And like Ramel says, yep, that's facts there, bro. When you're not busy, you start to lose focus. You start doing things that you should not be doing, thinking about things that you should not be thinking about. So keep busy. Get into IT. Book your consultations with me. Let me mentor you. We're not playing no games around here, brothers, man. This is the best goddamn Passport Bro channel on YouTube right now. This here is providing solutions and it's providing value. Solutions and value. This ain't a game to me, brothers, man. This ain't a game to me. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Believe in yourself. Be strong mentally, physically, spiritually. Stay focused, brothers, man. I know it's trying times right now. I know it's times when a lot of you brothers don't have no redirection. A lot of you brothers have no purpose. Well, I'm telling you, get right, get a purpose, get some goals. Reach out to me if you need that purpose, if you need that guidance. Right? I'll be offering personal one-to-one mentorships. That's not about IT, but about life advice, what you should be doing. So let's get, brothers, man. Let's get to the finish, the promised land. All right, brothers. So, thank you, brothers, man. It's been a pleasure. With speaking with everyone. This is another great Passport Bro show. This is the 5th episode of the Passport Bros show. Let me check it right now, Ramel. Hold on. Let me hopefully it's come through. Let's see. Bruv, I'm not. What is going on? Yeah, Ramel, it must be my internet, bro. So let me check back in the morning when I wake up, and hopefully my internet my internet speed has improved. Can't see jack all for some reason on IG, but appreciate you, Ramel. All right, brothers, man. Peace out, brothers. Have a great week ahead. Have a great August. This is the 1st of August over here in the UK. Man, this might be the best month of the year for us so far. Keep focused, stay to your goals, keep mentally strong. You can do it, man. Okay? Don't worry too much about women in the West. Stay strong, brothers, man. A strong mind creates a strong body. A strong body creates a strong mind. I'm IP, I'm International Passport. Shout out to all the supporters. Shout out to those who support. And let me check the PayPal just so I don't miss any donations real quick. Hold on, brothers. I need to go to bed. I've only got 2 hours of sleep. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fly me to the moon. Let the stars. No. All right, man. All right. Peace out, brothers. IP, International Passport. And I'll see you, brothers, very soon. Thank you, brothers.